Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Rivals. Certainly glad to have you with us on a breezy, comfortable late October night. I am Christian Garman alongside Jeff Price, of course, and Clayton Habecker, our sideline reporter. We're glad to have you. We are at West Florida High School tonight. Pensacola High School has come to take on West Florida. And if you're watching thinking that we were going to have Milton Pace, you probably know that game ended up being played last night. And thankfully, we were able to come here and bring you tonight's game. And Jeff, it's an interesting game in that both teams have had a rough year. Both teams coming into tonight are 1-7. And I know for West Florida, that is unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, Coach Summerford and his squad expected this team to have a little bit of struggle. They got the second toughest schedule in the state.
Right.
But for PHS, Coach Leonard, they're on a high note. You know, they got their first win last week against the Panama City Arnold team and scored 38 points, which is the most all season, so should be a good one.
And we know this for sure. One of these teams tonight will walk out of here with win number 2. We'll talk about the keys to victory in just a moment, but first we go to Clayton Habecker.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Going to be another great night here on Friday Night Rivals football. Now it is the Friday before Halloween. With that, Mother Nature has been playing all tricks and no treats. We've had all sorts of weather here in the Panhandle. We had the tropical storm last week that relocated the game, and we've been relocated this game with a Thursday move over. So now we're here at West Florida Tech tonight. Now, with that, we have a lot of wind conditions that will be a factor playing in the game tonight. Also, you can see there's dark clouds that are going to be over us all night as well, but the rain is supposed to be holding off. So that does create a perfect setting for a little rumble in the jungle tonight, where these two cats are trying to figure out who will be top of the food chain and who will be haunted by another loss. Back over to you guys.
All right, Clayton, thank you. And he has a point. It is a very breezy night, and that will be the case. Hoping the rain holds off. I think it probably will. Maybe late toward the game's end, we'll get you a few showers. I hope not. So let's talk about the Northwest Florida keys to victory, okay? So we know both teams are 1-7. We know it's been tough to get those victories. First, for the visiting Pensacola High School, what do?
They got to stop the talented running back, Jaheim Simmons. I mean, the young man's the catalyst. He was what make this offense go. And we saw Pine Forest a couple weeks ago kind of slow that running game and force Mr. Butala, the quarterback, to throw some really big interceptions. So I kind of expect PHS to load that box up tonight.
Okay, how about for West Florida? How do they walk out of here with win number 2?
Believe it or not, you know, a PHS team that's been struggling. Nate Simmons, the quarterback, only a sophomore, is statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the area.
Interesting.
So they've really just got to let that secondary go out there and play tonight and force these guys to really, I guess, run the football. They don't want to run the football a whole lot with a quarterback like that.
So as you said, Simmons has had a very good year despite the team's record. So then what is it? What has been the holdup for Pensacola High School?
It's been that defense. And keep in mind, this is a really young PHS team. Coach Leonard's doing a good job getting these guys to buy in, but buying in doesn't always get you wins when you're still young. Just look out for this team in the next coming years.
Well, both teams are 1-7. One team gets out of here with win number 2 tonight. We certainly are glad that you've decided to take it all in with us. It's Friday Night Rivals, and it starts coming up next. We are back, and we're certainly glad you are with us. As you can see, we are just about to have our kickoff here. It's Pensacola versus West Florida Tech. And we are at West Florida High School, as many of you know, formerly Woodham. The coin toss just a few minutes ago brought to us by the Marines.
Tails. You want the toss? What do you want to do? You want the ball.
Pensacola won the toss, elected to receive, and that's how things will get going here. And we are just about ready to do that. As West Florida doing a little jumble there. And, you know, Jeff, you were pointing out moments ago that both teams, as we have said, have a single win. And that win came against the very same team.
Yeah, Panama City Arnold.
So that's interesting. We're underway Friday night. Oh, a terrific tackle there. Wow, that was really nice. It was Nasir Brooks who received the kickoff, but just a great shoestring tackle there, and that is where things will get going here for PHS.
Yeah, really good tackle by William Carlisle, the third right there.
Yeah, very nice indeed. So we're going to see Nate Simmons here, as you said. He's a sophomore, you know, and the future looks bright, I would say, for Pensacola, because he has had a terrific year, and which is it's interesting to say that despite their record, you know what I mean? But facts are facts, and statistically, he's had a terrific year, and he likes to put the ball in the air, and we're going to get a chance to see him do that tonight. Does it here on the very first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, pass to Ladarius Powell, incomplete right there. And Powell's, he's the go-to guy. He's the jump ball guy. 6'3", 188 senior. You can understand why. Not too many guys can match up with a 6'3" senior.
Yep, Powell is a terrific player, and I'm positive we'll be talking about him all night long as Simmons has his orders, making his way back onto the field here. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 on a night where the rain threatens. That's for sure. I know it's been pouring in South Alabama. We are very hopeful that those showers will hold off, and I think there's reason to believe we'll get lucky here and see if that happens. 2nd down and 10 now. 4 wideouts here. They're going to run it up the middle, though, and a nice little gain of about 4 or 5, it looks like.
Yeah, Quan Whitehurst on the carry, the young sophomore. Once again, we talk about this PHS team. They got a lot of sophomores that are starting right now, and you've got your seniors sprinkled in, but that's Coach Leonard. You know, he's kind of had tough sledding this year, and he understood taking the job, that what it was, but he, you know, first things first is he got the young men to buy in and understand how they were going to get better. And you look at the record, and I'm just going to say, look, Washington was 0-10 last year, and look at them now.
It's incredible.
You know, playing for the district title.
Just incredible. What a story. So after the short gain from Whitehurst, it's going to be 3rd down and 8. Simmons is going to nearly throws an interception, but instead it's a completed pass, and that should move the change. That, once again, nice little pickup.
Yeah, the Katie Whitehurst on the reception there. Let's see if he was down or not. Super slow-mo. No, that's
sure
not even
wasn't.
close.
No.
I need to hold on to that whistle real quick.
No doubt, yeah. So it is an Anderson Subaru 1st and 10. A nice little conversion there on 3rd and long. Could have been a little bit longer. Pickup of 8. That's exactly what they needed. It's Whitehurst again. Not going anywhere this time around.
Yeah, expect PHS to use a lot of guys. They may not have the rosters of, you know, as many players as a lot of teams do, but they all contribute.
Here you can see the starting lineups for defense specifically. That's West Florida Tech, brought to you by Pete Moore. You've got Green, Carlisle, Walton, Laster, Terrell, Beeks, Davis, Caldwell, Purifoy, Larkins, and Chris Page, one of the middle linebackers here for West Florida on defense. Now 2nd down and 11 after the 1-yard loss from Whitehurst. Interesting lineup here. They've got 4 wideouts, 2 guys back there with Simmons. He is going to try and throw if he can get out of some trouble. Ends up keeping it, and did pick up a few there. I think it's going to bring up 3rd down. And, well, you know what? It looks like they may have called him right at almost the line of scrimmage, so actually he may have only picked up about a yard, so it's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, Kyler Purifoy, the junior, 5'8", 180 on the tackle right there for the Jags. And we had the Jags a few weeks ago, and against Pine Forest, a very talented Pine Forest team. And they really held their own. Mm-hmm. You know, that's one thing we talk about. They got the second toughest schedule in the state, and that doesn't mean anything. You still got to go out and win ball games. But this is a really, really good team to only have 1 win.
It is, and you know, you're right. You remind yourself, you tell yourself about that tough schedule, and that has to help a little. But the fact is, the record stands, and it's hard to ever look past that, especially when you're a coach. So 3rd and long here. Little sweep goes nowhere. In fact, loses 4 or 5, and it's going to bring up 4th down at about 16, and certainly going to bring up the punting team here for Pensacola.
Yeah, Calvin McCreary on the carry, and I guess you could just say the whole West Florida Tech defense is in the backfield, as there's about 5 or 6 guys at least that were back there.
No doubt. So it looks like a pretty good position here for West Florida, as their 2 guys back are standing at the 40-yard line. And we may very well see Quanteris Gaines get his hands on the ball here. He is terrific. Saw him a few weeks ago and just so impressed there. Excuse me.
Yeah, Coach Leonard's son is the punter.
Yep. Punt's going to come up short and go out of bounds. No, it stays in bounds right past midfield at about the 47-yard line. So that's going to be where West Florida will take over there. As you said, that's Coach Leonard's son. I talked to Coach earlier this year about coaching his son, and he said, look, it's been difficult. He said it's been difficult for me. It's been difficult for him. There was an adjustment for sure. I'm sure by now they've adjusted, but I can see how that would come with its share of obstacles.
Yeah, you just look at it as if your father was coaching you,
Yeah.
you were playing high school football. It's different when he's coaching you on your T-ball team, but
Right,
he's coaching
yeah.
at the high school level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little
make things
different.
a little tough at home.
A little different. All right, so near midfield here, West Florida, ready to get going. And, of course, they're going to run it right up the middle. And no surprise right off the bat here, Jaheim Simmons, who is just great. Let's take a look at the starting lineup on the offensive side for West Florida. And, again, we've got Green and Walton, Quantarius Gaines. We're going to say his name all night. He's terrific. Elijah Edmonds, Jaheim Simmons, another guy just had the ball, just an outstanding player. Moultrie, Batten, Wilson, Johnson, Worley, and, of course, quarterback Dawson Butala, who's a good player. Second down now, pick up there of about 2. And there he is again. Simmons picks up maybe 3 or 4. That'll bring up third down and short.
Yeah, I need to mention, you saw Simeon Price in the backfield right there, running a little bit of a wildcat. And that's one thing Coach Summerford will mix it up all night long. And I think you forgot the most important thing about Dawson Butala.
The nickname?
The Gumbo.
Gumbo. Still unconfirmed. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen it on. We saw it.
I'm going to say it
saw it on
because
the internet.
it's the most fun nickname
Well,
around here.
listen, if we say it, I guess it's so. I mean, if just the two of us only, still we call him Gumbo. 3rd and 5 now. 3rd and 5. And that's a direct snap to Simmons. And not going anywhere, and that's going to bring up 4th down right at midfield. 4th and very long after the loss of about 3. So you got to think it's a likely punt, and sure enough, it looks like the punting unit coming on now for West Florida. So a nice start for Pensacola there, 3 and out.
Well, we talked about in the open, the one thing that PHS was going to have to do is stop that run game and force them to throw the football. Well, they did just that right there. Really good job by that front 7 of PHS. This is how they have to stay in the ball game. You have to make them throw the football. If you allow Simmons and those guys to run, it's going to be a long night for you.
Yep. A high snap, and we've got a block here.
Uh-oh,
A
scoop and
great
score.
play. Yes, well done. Just a great play. Not able to score, but a big-time play there. Is that number? Yes, indeed. That's number 8 for West Florida. That's Nigel Graham, or it could have been Elijah Larkins, actually. Gee. Michael McCreary. McCorvey, thank you. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry. Looking at the wrong roster there. My fault. As if I have to say that. They're like, no kidding. You said the wrong name twice. We know you're looking at the wrong roster, Christian. Wow, big play.
Yeah,
Big
that's
play.
awesome right
Yeah,
there. And
punt
if you're
block
PHS,
there.
you're in 4-down territory right now.
Well, like you said, it was looking like a potential scoop and score. It didn't happen, but great field position. They are in the Synovus red zone. That's how you like to start a drive, a pickup of maybe a couple there.
Keep an eye out. Number 1, Ladarius Powell. We talked about him earlier. 6'3". Boy, he's a great end zone target.
Okay. Got those ups, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that. Me and you.
Just cool terms.
Yeah.
Tall guy.
I didn't know where you were going with
They
that.
dumb it down for you. Story of my season. 2nd down now and about 9 after a short game. Simmons does want to throw, and
There he is. Ladarius Powell.
Did he catch it? No, it looks like it's
no.
incomplete. Yeah, that was really interesting, the route there from Ladarius, because I don't know if you saw that he stopped for about a second. It was like a pause, intentional.
Well, that's what you call an option route. And so basically what Simmons is doing there is reading the corner, and the receiver is supposed to read the corner as well, as we see the Bob Tyler Toyota instant replay. And apparently there was a miscommunication. Nonetheless, almost a fantastic play, but an even better play,
Yeah.
way to break it up by Anthony Green III right there.
Yeah, nearly a perfect call by you. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 9. They can get down to about the 9-yard line. That would be the first down. Simmons is in some trouble, and he just throws it away. That's a good play.
Yeah, interesting to see if they're going to throw an
Yes,
intentional grounding flag right there to see if he got outside the pocket or not. And they are not.
Looks like they're going to leave the...
There it is. Okay. I was
very-
wondering because it sure didn't look like it, but there. And that's, we just talk about it. That is such a blow.
Yeah, that hurts. That's going to be a loss of yardage, loss of down, and And now it's likely out of field goal range, especially on a windy night like this, and may just be a throw to the end zone situation and see what happens. You can see, so it's going to be 4th down. That's a very, very big loss on the intentional grounding from Simmons.
Yeah, we got our referees tonight. So Savon Williams right there, Jesse Whidden, Caleb Schlegel, Mario Tobar, John Baggs, Alex Andrews, and Rich Farina.
So from the 30-yard line, this would be a 47-yard field goal. Not going to make that attempt, and instead we've got a timeout on the field, it looks like here, with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. It's Friday Night Rivals, brought to you by Hill Kelly Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram. 4th and long when we come back. We are back live, Friday Night
Look
Rivals.
at the beard on that guy.
Like, boy, it's quite a robust beard for a high
football
schooler
season
there. Yeah, exactly. All right, it's 4th down and long, but because of the very long field goal here, you can see the Comfort Gentle Smile Cam. Here's the play. Let's see the action. There we go. They are going to just throw it to the end zone and see what happens, or at least try to get there.
McCreary
He catches it. What a catch. Oh, boy, that's going to be a 1st and goal. Just an outstanding throw from Simmons. As you said, that's Calvin McCreary who brings it in, and they convert on 4th and forever to get themselves a 1st and goal. Let's watch the Bob Tyler replay. Check this out. 26-yard game. What a great catch. That's outstanding.
You see Anthony Green right there, and then number 23, William Carlisle, playing a little spectator. And McCreary goes up and makes an excellent play.
Yeah, big time play. Big time. That's one of those, you got nothing left to lose on 4th and forever, and sure enough, he brings it in. The rare conversion. This time they're going to run it there. That's number 21, Austin Childers.
Yeah, we've got him on the roster as a tight end. And you see how big this young man is. That's a big fella right there.
Picks up a couple. It's going to bring up 2nd down, and looks like about 4 again. It's, well, 2nd and goal, I should say, from the 4. 5:25 to go here. First quarter, Friday Night Rivals, Pensacola High School, threatening to score first. This time Simmons keeps it himself.
Oh, he is knocking on the door.
He got real close. Don't think he quite got in, so should bring up 3rd and goal from maybe the 1. We'll see exactly where they spot this thing.
I think right here, if you're PHS, you can't get too fancy. I think just a couple quarterback sneaks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't get 1 yard in 2 plays, you don't deserve to score.
And it is down right at about the 1-yard line. So 3rd and goal now. Here comes Simmons. Sprinted over the sidelines to talk to the coach for a brief moment. Shot clock. Nope. Game clock. Or play clock.
There you go.
I've been calling it a shot. I'm a big basketball fan. I've been calling it a shot clock all season long. 10 seconds here on the play clock. Come right up the middle, and that is going to be a touchdown. The big fellow, like you said, listed as a tight end, but get out of his way there. And that's going to be a touchdown PHS, so they make good use of that blocked punt, get the great field position, and sure enough, turn it into points. They draw first blood here, 6-0 Pensacola.
Yeah, a little bit of a jumbo package right there with Childers in the game. Like we said, listed a tight end, and you see it right there, and he just powers his way through that front 7 of the Jags and finds a way in the end zone. And that's a huge touchdown for these guys.
Sure
That's
is.
The way they needed to get on the board first here. And man, oh man, if that defense can hold up tonight, maybe a little bit of an upset.
Listen, I'm hoping we have a really, really interesting game, and every reason to believe we will so far. On for the extra point. I don't know. No, it's wide right there. May have gotten a finger on it. So they do not convert, but they do get the touchdown, and it is 6-0 Pensacola with 4:18 to go. Friday Night Rivals. Settle in, folks. This should be a lot of fun. Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday Night Rivals presented by Hill Kelly Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram. If you are just joining us, don't worry, you haven't missed that much. The game just started a few minutes ago. It is 6-0 Pensacola. They scored moments ago, not able to convert the extra point, but they did take the touchdown lead, and West Florida now the home team, and we'll get a chance. And I'll tell you, they got a couple of really good guys back with Jaheim Simmons is always ready, and then Quanterus Gaines. And with those two guys receiving at any moment, we could see a breakaway. But this one is going to get stopped. Not sure what happened there, but
Maybe an offsides as early as they called it. No.
see what this is. Well, they're moving it back. There we go. So, sure enough. So, even better field position. And Jeff, the point I was making is those two gentlemen back there with Quanterus and Jaheim at any moment. See you later.
Yeah, Quanterus is extremely fast, and Jaheim Simmons,
We know
he's
how.
just built like a tank. I mean, you don't want to
Exactly.
get in his way.
Yep. A hard time they have to hold it.
Keep in mind, it is very windy out here
Yep,
tonight.
sure is. Yep, and he is going to hold it just to make sure. Not a huge crowd here tonight, which really is no surprise. We knew the weather may play a role. Kind of tricky bounce there. Took him a moment, but Simmons able to get it, and he's trying to get outside. We have a flag on the play, so this may be coming back, but he gets it out to the 30-yard line. We'll hold up to see what that call is, though. Yeah, looks like illegal contact from West Florida, so that's going to come back a bit.
Yeah, it was really a good setup by the kick return team. You saw them trying to build that wall to the sideline. Well, somebody did something they wasn't supposed to.
Right here, there you go. So back she comes, and way, way back. They're still walking this thing off all the way down to the 7-yard line.
See the Bob Tyler Toyota Answer replay. Really good kick, by the way.
Sure
And that
was.
ball kind of
A
knuckles the
tricky
last
bounce,
minute.
yeah. Look at that, yeah. It's, Jaheim Simmons had a hard time getting it. I thought for a moment there when he tried to get outside, he may be on his way, but right about then the flag came down. We knew it wasn't going to matter, which it did not, because they lose big yardage. Back at the 8-yard line is where West Florida will start.
Yeah, West Florida. Antoine Johnson in the game.
Oh, big opportunity there for Pensacola. Not able to bring him down. And that's Simeon Price on an end around. Thought they may have him all the way back at about the goal line, but not able to make the stop. That was number 55 for Pensacola, who tried to do some real damage there. It's Felton Roberson. So, doesn't pick up any. Doesn't look like he lost any either. Maybe a yard, really right at the line of scrimmage though. So second down now and 10. And this time he's going to throw it long, and maybe too long. Out of the reach of his own player, very nearly could have been picked off. Would have taken a terrific catch though over the shoulder. Not able to happen. That was Dredrick Bell who had the best shot to haul that in. Nonetheless, it's an incomplete pass, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 10. And Jeff, we've seen West Florida now. Their first time they had the ball, it was 3 and out, and a couple of plays in right now, not doing much.
Yeah, really trying to find themselves, and I tell you what, more credit to that PHS defense.
So far, yeah.
They're just trying to force them to throw the football a little bit, and just unsuccessful.
Well, let's see what Gumbo can do, though. Here's Gumbo Butala. He is going to pass. Oh, mercy. That's going to be a 1st and 10, and if not for that tackle from, who was that, number 2. So that's Dredrick Belligan who made that tackle, and then see you later. He was gone.
Yeah, not real sure.
Look at this. That was it. That's your last chance right there. A 12-yard gain on 3rd and 10.
Not sure. We haven't heard anything up in the booth, of course, before the game. We got the starters for West Florida Tech, but right now we're looking at Antoine Johnson at quarterback.
Quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, Butala has not entered the game. Not sure what's going on with that right now. If we find out, we'll let you know.
Gonna run this one up the middle. And just keeps on going there. Not easy to bring him down. That's a pickup of a few there.
Yeah, really good job by number 55, Felton Roberson, coming through and making the initial contact.
Just
It's
slow
just
a bit.
so tough to bring him down.
Yep. Pickup of about 4. So second down now, it looks like, and 6. Junior Antoine Johnson playing quarterback right now for West Florida. As you said, we are not sure why. We were not told that Gumbo wouldn't be playing.
Oh,
mercy.
boy, oh, boy.
Just when Johnson was ready to unleash that thing, he got hit hard, and that's going to be a big loss.
Yeah, how about number 14, Donald Buffkin, the sophomore, coming in with a big hit right there.
Yeah, that was a big-time play and a huge loss. Let's take a look here at the Bob Tyler replay. Again, Johnson right, just about to unleash it. Just got hit hard. The 8-yard loss leads now to 3rd and 14.
Tell you what, he's lucky he held on to the football right there. Good job by him.
So Simmons, the lone man in the backfield, along with quarterback Johnson. A little misdirection there. May have been some confusion. Looked like he turned one way and Simmons went the other.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a no-go for West Florida. They are stopped deep in their own territory. The penalty on the kickoff hurt them, and they just never did turn things around. With that in mind, Pensacola should get terrific field position as they've got their men stationed back right at about the 50-yard line.
I tell you, with Dawson not in the game, West Florida seems like they're trying to change things up a little bit in their offense, and PHS is going man-to-man on the outside. They are loading that box and forcing you see plays like that to happen tonight.
Another high snap, but this time well handled. He is able to get it off, and a fair catch caught right at midfield, and that was number 5. That's Calvin McCreary, who made the catch there. So, hey, so far looking good. If you're a Pensacola fan, you're already winning 6-0. Your defense has done a very fine job in slowing West Florida down. Of course, we cannot ignore the fact that West Florida's starting quarterback, Dawson Butala, not in the game. As we've said, not sure why, but that's going to mess with the rhythm some.
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's throwing things off a little bit. And even though, still give credit to PHS's defense. They come out and we talk about the game, kind of the problem in the defense a little bit this year. And, man, they're coming out and they're showcasing their talents.
Yep. They've got 4 receivers out, and Simmons wants to throw, but under some pressure. Might have picked up a couple. There is a flag in the backfield, though we may very well have a hold here. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely a hold right there.
Holding on Pensacola, so a couple of yard gains, going to turn into a 10-yard loss now and bring up 1st down and 20.
And it looked like West Florida, they just kind of come into this game almost like a lull to the start of this game.
Yeah.
Like they're just kind of walking through it.
Right.
And we know, when you look at PHS and the struggles they've had, this is the toughest games for coaches to get you guys to focus to.
Right.
And when you're 1-7, you got to bring your A game every week.
You got to. You got to. And, I do honestly think there that because both teams are 1-7, you don't want to lose that game. You don't want to be the team that loses to the 1-7 team. So that's on the line, and that matters. So a big loss there after the hold, but a completed pass gets some of it back. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 13.
Yeah, Ladarius Powell again on the catch, and that seems to be one of the favorite targets. Scratch that. I'm sorry. That's number 4, Katie Whitehurst.
Yeah, KD's had his name called a few times. I can see why you said LD, though. He's all over the place all the time. 2nd down now, and looks like about 14 after the pick up. In football, a pick would indicate an interception, which is not what happened. So I had to change that. Once again, pretty much the exact same play, and that's number 17, Nasir Brooks, who brings it in. So inch by inch here after 1st and 25. They've made up some of that, a 7-yard gain there.
See the Bob Tyler Toyota instant replay. And you see Simmons, he's a good passer.
Yep.
I mean, young man, you see why he's got easily over 1,200 yards this year so far. And
just a sophomore.
Yeah.
So that'll do it for the first quarter. When we come back, it's going to be 3rd down and 7 for Pensacola as they have just crossed midfield. Certainly glad you're spending your Friday night with us here as we keep the Rivals train rolling. 6-0 Pensacola. Stay with us. Oh my goodness, Halloween is not that far away. And having a good time here tonight at West Florida High School. It's 3rd down and 3 now as Pensacola will try to keep their drive going. Looks like Nate Simmons is going to keep the ball, and just a great tackle. Ooh, that's a big play, but not quite enough. I do think that's going to be an Anderson Subaru 1st and 10. While we've got a moment, we know that Clayton Habecker is. Oh no, hold on. Let's not go there. It looks like he stopped him short. Yep, so he did stop him. So they are gonna punt. So Clayton, hold on. We'll wait till after this punt, just in case we see a game breaker here, and then we'll pitch it down to you. So my apologies there. He was short, and West Florida gets the stop that they needed. They're going to get their hands back on the ball. And I know their crowd would love to see them do something. It's been a couple of fruitless drives so far. It's playing off the banana.
Yeah, fruitless, nice.
Well, you know, it's a fake. It's a fake. You got to love it, folks.
Uh-oh.
And he's coming back the other way. He's got lots of room.
One man to beat.
Oh, boy. Woo!
Calvin McCreary.
Big time play. What a call from the coach, the big conversion. And wow, so it's going to be a 1st and goal in the Synovus red zone. The fake punt coming one way. McCreary says no. This reminds me of Marcus Allen back at like the '84 Super Bowl. Came back the other way. I'll never forget that. Look at this. McCreary tries for the stiff arm, gets down to the 14. The 32-yard pickup on the very risky fake punt. Pensacola came to play tonight, big time.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the position they are, hey, all bets are off, and I love the call right there.
I do too, absolutely. This time they're going to run it right up the middle, and big defensive play there, nothing doing. So now let's go down to Clayton Habecker for the Brownsville Welding Sideline Report, and we'll keep the action going for you. Go ahead, Clayton.
Hey guys, an exciting fake punt on the field, but I got something even more exciting on the sidelines here. I got Greg, the Popcorn King. Greg, tell me a little bit of how you got into the popcorn business.
Well, I grew up in Chicago, and naturally we have a lot of popcorn shops there. And, moving here to Pensacola, it was an easy transition to do. We have a store on 9 Mile Road. We have over 40 flavors. And we also do Washington High School here at West Florida High School. And we also do Pine Forest High School. So popcorn has really been good to us in Pensacola. I brought you a sample, Clayton, of some popcorn.
Yeah, speaking of those flavors, what is this one?
That is one of my best sellers. It's called Popcorn King Ranch. It has a great taste to it. Yes.
I'm going to try this right in front of you guys, live. Guys, I'm feeling like royalty down here. I got my King Ranch popcorn, got my nice blue jacket on. I'm enjoying this.
Oh,
Back up to you guys in the booth.
That is such a cheap
Greg.
shot.
Wow.
First of all, a couple of things to cover there. Obviously, you may have seen we were showing you the action during the interview. Pensacola through the end zone. We did get the pass interference call, so it's going to be looks like a not first down, 2nd down and a very, very short. It looks like.
Should be a 1st and goal.
I agree,
Yeah,
but
there
that's
it is.
not
It's gonna
what
be a
the.
1st and goal.
Thank you. Sorry for my non-confidence, but I'm like that's not what they're showing me. So it is 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Clayton with his jacket joke there. Jeff and I were lamenting the fact that he got that beautiful jacket that we did not, as they try to run that one up the middle, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and goal. So that's the only reason he said that.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm going on 3 years and still waiting on my blue jacket.
I know you are. And lastly, I want to give props to Popcorn King. We are big fans in the Garment House. Have you ever had that stuff?
Oh, yes.
Dude, that is so good. We catch him at they're at the Palafox Market almost every single week. And the Garmins always swing by and pick a flavor and love it. So that's cool. I'm glad to see him here tonight. 2nd down and goal from the 6. It's the Synovus red zone. We've seen some fireworks tonight. We've had a blocked punt. We've had a fake punt. Both of those things have worked out in the favor of Pensacolans, put them in this very fine position as they're going to throw over the middle, and a terrific defensive play there stops the touchdown. So that was number 3, Isaac Walton Jr., who made that fine play over the middle, did not let the pass get completed. It's going to bring up 3rd goal.
Yeah, and I like the call by Coach right there, spreading Calvin McCreary and at the top of your screen all alone and throwing to Jordan Love on a little slant route. Almost worked, just couldn't hang on to it right there. Really good play defensively by that secondary of West Florida.
Sure was. So 3rd and goal now. Pretty early on here in the 2nd quarter. Glad you all are with us tonight. It's awfully fun. It's been fun bringing you these games every single week. And the last couple of weeks, because of the weather, things have been a little jumbled, but certainly we're glad to be here. And that's Oh, we got a couple flags come in. So the pass is incomplete after the rollout there, but looks like we may have another pass interference. So it may be another first and goal situation.
That's a tough call.
Sure enough, there's the pass.
The ball was kind of poorly thrown by Simmons right there, so Leonard had to jump up, and thought the defensive player did a pretty good job, but apparently he got there just a hair early.
Yep, Simmons rolling out there, and looks like he threw off his back foot, didn't get as much on it, but it doesn't matter because should be another. There.
Is that a tiger wristband?
I think it was. I want one.
That's a stuffed animal wristband. How about that?
Get the good folks at Amazon. I love it. Look at that. That's awesome.
Got the Apple Watch and the tiger.
That is right on brand, Coach. That's well done. All right, so they're replaying third down now, third and goal. Honestly, why, Jeff, I'll just ask you. You tell me, why is it not first down? That was a pass interference call, right?
Yeah, it definitely should be a first
Okay.
down.
All right. Well, again, I'm going by what I'm seeing here on the sidelines, and so looks like a timeout is called. As it stands right now, maybe the officials are going to talk about this. As it stands right now, the marker on the sideline is telling us it's third down from the 3, but I think that's going to probably be first and goal because they did call that. Here we go. There you can see what we're talking about. Not sure what the officials are discussing. Getting the teams back on the field, saying
Officials saying it's third down, but I'm still confused at why.
I am too. I hate that. I hate that I can't be clear on what happened there, but I just don't know.
Well, talk about some big games around the area, and of course some district matchups, and
this late in the season, things really get going.
Talk about the north end of the county up there in Alabama, of course, right across the line. Flomaton and T.R. Miller. How about Flomaton jumping out to a 12-0 lead? Of course, Flomaton won the 3A state championship last year, and if you've never wanted to watch a T.R. Miller Flomaton game, well, that's a fun one.
Another throw over the middle and another terrific defensive play. That once again is Isaac Walton, who back-to-back plays there just stops something. Watch this. This is just great stuff. Simmons tries the crossing route. And boom.
Really a good throw because the defender was up high. He tried to throw it down low where only his guy could get to it. But tough catch, but it's one that Leonard will probably go back and say, man, I should have made that one.
So, again, looks like it's fourth down now. And it does not look like Pensacola is electing to kick the field goal, which maybe is no surprise. We saw the extra point missed a few minutes ago after the touchdown. So they're going to go for it here on fourth down. Simmons is throwing out wide, a fine defensive play, and it's a big stop for West Florida coming off that first and goal. So that's a big moment for West Florida there. And Kyler Purifoy comes through with a huge play. Not sure that ball gets completed anyway, honestly, from my point of view, but a big play right there on fourth down and a turnover on downs.
Yeah, great job by Purifoy getting your hands up. If you can't get to the quarterback, you're taught, get your hands up, make it tough for him.
Sure.
And with Simmons having that over-the-top kind of, almost like an awkward throwing motion, makes it really easy to bat balls down.
So West Florida will certainly be very deep in their own territory, but that is a big-time win because they were staring at the first and goal from PHS. And Tigers not able to convert, so here we go. And it looks like number 16, if you're just joining us, that's Antoine Johnson playing the role of quarterback for West Florida here. It's going to be Simeon Price who gets the ball. And Antoine Johnson has not been the starting quarterback all season long. And quite honestly, we're not sure whether this is just a coaching decision, whether there was an injury. We don't know.
Yeah, Johnson's listed as a running back on our roster, so, a bit of a different thing. Of course, I haven't seen Butala on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I've been looking for his jersey. Not sure maybe it was something that happened in pregame or.
Just don't know.
No.
Don't know. All right, so second down now at 8. And Johnson. Looks like this time Simeon Price is going to take a snap at quarterback. They're going to hand it off up the middle and a big gain and still going all the way out to the 20-yard line. And that's a very fine play. That's Elijah Edmonds who has the big breaker. It's going to be an Anderson Subaru 1st and 10.
Yeah, we talk about Jaheim Simmons and how good he is, but this West Florida squad has just a slew of backs.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 5 or 6 guys. They not only can they give the football to, they do throughout the game.
So it looks like Simeon Price now is going to play quarterback. That's back-to-back plays. So kind of a mixed bag tonight for West Florida in the quarterback position. The handoff up the middle doesn't do much. Going to bring up second down.
Tell you what, if West Florida can't throw the football some tonight, it's going to be tough sledding, because then you just let this PHS front seven pin their ears back.
Yeah.
And just come after you, and they're up to the task.
Yep.
If you make them one-sided, they are definitely up to the task.
Second down and 9. That's it's going to be Simmons this time who takes the direct snap, and he's not giving it up. He's also not going anywhere.
Once again, just a great job by that defensive front of PHS. It's not just one guy making his way in the backfield. It's 3 or 4 every single snap.
So 3rd and 9. And West Florida just not so far able to do anything offensively. Even with a very talented back like Jaheim Simmons, like you said, if everybody in the building, so to speak, knows we're going to run it up the middle, not a whole lot you're going to do with it. 3rd down and 9. This time they are going to pass. Look at him.
Showing some moves, but all for naught right there is going to bring up a 4th and about 8.
So that's Antoine Johnson, who is, I'll tell you, maybe what we can take away from this particular moment. Let's watch this.
He wanted to run. That's good looking stuff. We may what that may tell us, because we've seen 3 different players play quarterback tonight for West Florida, but on passing plays, I feel like that's going to be your guy again. That's number 16, Antoine Johnson, because that time around 3rd and 10, they didn't do the direct snap to Simmons. They bring Johnson in because they know they got to put it in the air. Well, Simeon Price and Jaheim Simmons are going to be your wildcat backs.
Right.
Antoine Johnson, he's going to obviously, if you have a thrower, he's going to be your thrower tonight.
Yep. So it's punt time for West Florida. And that's going to be a big time run back. That's well done, and going to be midfield position for Pensacola. And Clayton Habecker did a little bit of work for us there, asked a few questions, was able to find out what's going on with the quarterback tonight. So what's happening, Clayton? Why is it that we're not seeing Butala in the game?
They said that he had gotten shaken up on an earlier play, but they were expecting to put him back in at the game at some point. So be on the lookout for that. But they did say he got shaken up, but he should be headed back in here maybe on the next drive. Back over to you guys.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So
there you go.
Yeah, maybe just as soon as the next drive, according to Clayton. So we'll see what happens. At this moment, though, with 5:51 to go, there's a timeout on the field. We're glad you're with us, folks. Stay here. It's Friday Night Rivals. We'll be right back. We are back. It's 1st and 10. Pensacola going to start off with terrific field position on the West Florida side of the field, just barely, about the 47-yard line. And Nate Simmons going to keep this one himself, and he's got a big pickup of about 8 yards.
Yeah, really good job. Simmons saw the pressure coming to the outside, and there was a hole up the middle. Great job by the young man.
And we will do our best not to speculate on what's happening with West Florida's quarterback, Dawson Butala. You heard Clayton give us the report that they're hoping to bring him back in. We did hear one thing we heard was potential mild concussion. Now that's we don't know that. So
rumor has it.
We just we don't know. But if that's the case, we may not see him again tonight. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But that's one report that we've heard. So 2nd down now and 2. Nothing doing on the run up the middle there. That was going to bring up 3rd down and maybe about 4 after a loss. That was number 6, Quan Whitehurst. They tried to get the ball to.
So are you saying the whole Butala thing could be fake news?
Well, if it came out of my mouth, there's a decent chance of that. As a former weatherman, I hedge every bet.
You're a meteorologist, not weatherman.
Fair enough. Well, I was a former weatherman. I became a meteorologist.
Oh! But hold on. I called you a weatherman earlier before the broadcast.
That's true.
And I thought you were going to throw me out the window.
That was for a lot of things.
Fair enough.
3rd down and 5. Ooh, a fine little effort there to pick up the extra yardage. But
Definitely got to go for it here.
yeah, not going to be anywhere near the first down. It's going to bring up 4th and 3, but I would agree with you. Let's see, Simmons is scurrying over to the sideline. He does that. He likes to hustle over and talk to the coach whenever he can and see what they're thinking. It's 4 minutes left. This has been a very speedy first half. It's 7:52. This game started at about 7:05, so this game's moving right along. Current score is 6-0. It is
like
going to be 4th and 3.
They're going to punt.
They sure are. That's good news for West Florida. Going to get their hands on the ball here.
Well, I don't disagree with that call. I mean, I think I would go for it, but punt it away. Your defense has been playing fantastic. Play a little field position. They only got 3 minutes to drive the field.
Absolutely. We've certainly seen no indication so far that West Florida is going to put together a very quick drive.
Good punt.
Yeah. And they're going to take a great Pensacola bounce, too. Now rolling laterally and down to about the 10-yard line. So, like you say, with 3.5 minutes to play here, West Florida's 90 yards away from a touchdown. And so far, the offense has been slow going.
Well, if anything, you're kind of forcing West Florida to possibly have to throw the football to get it in the end zone within 3.5 minutes. So that plays in your favor if you're PHS.
It surely does. And Antoine Johnson has taken on quarterback duties for West Florida. As you said, they've run the Wildcat a couple of times. So he's not the only guy back there, but by and large, he's currently playing the role of the traditional quarterback.
Oh, there's your popcorn king. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Smile
Oh,
can.
yeah. Oh, there you go. Like I told you, I'm such a fan. Oh, is Kona Ice here too?
What?
Wow. Can you do this while I cruise down? Oh, look at that. Oh, I wonder what flavor that was. I'm dying to know. Get Habecker on that. I must know. Action on the field or lack thereof. A gain of maybe a yard or perhaps down right at the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 2nd down now. So Pensacola has a couple of timeouts, Jeff, and 3:15 to go. They may be thinking, call our timeouts because we can get some pretty good field position if we're able to hold West Florida to nothing here.
Yeah, if they can get one more stop right here and make it 3rd and long, then I think you absolutely use your timeout.
Absolutely.
If you're West Florida, do you really chance passing the football, or do you try to run it right here, and don't?
Well, with somebody, they've got some terrific running backs, so that's always a good option.
They're going to throw it.
Going to throw it, and it's caught. Hauled in at about the 18-yard line. Not going to be quite enough for a first down, but it's going to make it 3rd and short. That's Rawson who throws that wide there. Nice catch.
Yeah, good throw, by the way.
So clock ticking now down to 2.5 minutes to go. Kind of negated my argument, I guess, because they have not called a timeout yet. So Pensacola is content to let the clock go. That's less of a gain than I thought. He caught that at about the 18. I know he did. But that's not where it's spotted, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 5, a rollout pattern. This is caught as well.
That's a first down.
That is a first down. Great pass, great catch.
Yeah, Simeon Price in the reception right there, and that's 2 good throws by the young man. Good job by Antoine Johnson.
So there you go, an Anderson Subaru 1st and 10. We've not had too many of those tonight, but we do have it here at the 21-yard line, and that clock continues to roll. They did not rule him out of bounds. So
you realize Simeons and Price are both juniors. Like, they're both coming back for the squad next year. Boy, Coach Summerford's going to have a good one.
That's terrific. That's great. And look at this. They're throwing plenty all of a sudden. That's 3 straight. That's Antoine Johnson throwing to the right this time. So they don't get much out of it, but they don't mind putting it in the air.
Yeah, he's thrown to Isaac Walton Jr. right there a few times, and seems to be his favorite target tonight. Looks like West Florida, at some point, if you're going to try to score, you got to throw it down the field now.
Yeah, doesn't feel like they're going to try that.
Oh, a double move on the outside. Look at that ball.
Oh, well. Let's see if we get a penalty here. No. The receiver and the defender definitely collided, and he even fell down, but I think maybe they just thought there's uncatchable there.
Well, I think what it was is, so the young man, which is number 1 right there, Lamont Green, fell down, slipped out of his break. It was supposed to be a double move.
Okay.
It didn't happen, so he got up, and the PHS defender was right there, and he kind of fell into him, so I believe that's why they didn't throw the flag right there.
So 3rd down with just over a minute to go. And I'll tell you, we've already seen 1 punt blocked tonight. If I'm Pensacola, I'm not finished with this half just yet.
Especially after the incomplete pass, stopping the clock.
Yeah, stop the clock. 3rd long.
Oh, this is tipped.
Oh, and
my
nearly
goodness.
picked. Whoa, man. But a big break for Pensacola because that stops the clock. No timeout needed, and it's going to be 4th and long. So looks like Pensacola High School will get the ball back.
Well, we saw him block a punt earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
So here you go. You talk about a punt that was led to a score, and if you're PHS, do you play field position game trying to get a good return, or do you come after the punt? And if I'm them, we'll go ahead and come after the punt a little bit.
So let me give you a little more background here. The great Dan Shugart is, of course, watching and did send this information to give us a little more information on Butala, the quarterback from West Florida, who is not playing tonight or may return, but we don't know. But Dan did say that he was body slammed last week by De La Salle defensive lineman Demarion Peterson, head slammed into the turf. He left the game, didn't return. Not sure if that's related to tonight's injury, so not confirming that, but there is some background there. Just last week, he did get body slammed in, so thanks for that flush out, Dan. We appreciate that very much.
Dan always bailing us out, giving us the good info.
I've known Dan since 1995. He's bailed me out quite a few times, so. Although not literally. After I said that, I realized
That could go one of two ways.
Exactly. Not literally.
It's funny because I grew up when I was, of course, I was born in 1990, so I grew up watching Dan on Channel 3 News ever since I was little. And, when I finally got to meet him, like meeting you, I was starstruck. I didn't know what to do.
Not quite the same, but yeah, I do know what you mean. I remember same thing. I watched Dan, and then I met him, and when I started at Channel 3, I was like, it's Dan Shugart. I'm talking to him? What? Couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it either, but for different reasons.
Uh-oh, big return right here.
So as we've been saying here for the last few minutes, Pensacola says we've still got some time, and that's Katie Whitehurst who gets his hands on the ball, tries to make a little magic, and if nothing else, gives his team a terrific opportunity now with a couple of timeouts with just under 50 seconds to play, and looks like they're going to start this drive well into West Florida territory. That worked out real well for Pensacola.
Real quick on the Dan Shugart.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think Pensacola sports, do you think of anybody else?
Nope.
I mean, he's just the one that pops in your head for everything.
Guy's a Hall of Famer, total legend. He'll be the first to tell you. Kidding, Dan. I'm just kidding.
That's just you.
That's true. He's always telling me. So there's a penalty there, and that's going to bring back a terrific run, which is too bad for Pensacola because they were looking in real good shape. Looks like they'll be starting instead right around midfield.
Well, now if you're Simmons, I think that, hey, you're in midfield, take a couple shots and see what happens. If it doesn't happen on first, second down, maybe just take it on into the locker room there. And, hey, you got a 6-0 lead right now. And if you tell Coach Leonard 6-0, he'd definitely be happy with that.
I think you're right. Oh, great play there. That's terrific stuff. That's number 44 for West Florida, who
Derek
Terrell. Yeah. That's a big play from Terrell. So
it's a big boy.
Pensacola
6'3", 190.
Looks like the clock stopped. So Pensacola.
West Florida will take a timeout.
Why? I mean, right? That's interesting.
That is the sound bite of the night. Why?
Well, I mean, I would get why Pensacola would.
Well, and here why?
Help
because
me out.
What if PHS drops back again? They want to throw the football. Maybe they don't want to run the football. Regardless, you don't get to take these timeouts with you. And listen, you're down 6-0. Maybe they fumble.
You know what? You sold me.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a good time. That's why he's a head coach, and I'm up here just being a goofball.
We have a lot of fun being goofballs.
Yeah, well, nobody does it better. That I assure you. So a big loss there. That's just a great play by Derek Terrell. And when his team really needed it, too. Big time play. Puts them back at their own 41-yard line. And second down and about 20 after the loss.
Yeah, PHS is going to drop back and pass, which I'm not sure that they're going to do that at this point. I just think you got to look at either McCreary or Powell on the outside. Go to your playmakers.
Low snap, well handled. Simmons rolls out. He does have his man nearly picked off. Woo-hoo-hoo. That could have been a big play for West Florida here at the end, and that would have been the reason you called that timeout, right? That's number 23, Willie Carlisle, who almost makes the pick here. Let's check this out.
Yeah, that would have been pick 6.
Yep.
And you talk about going into halftime on a high note.
Yeah. would have changed the momentum. And I'll tell you what else it would have done. It would have certainly justified that timeout I was questioning.
Yeah.
32 ticks left here in the first half. Third down now and very long 20. And West Florida calls another timeout, looks like. So they have one remaining. And, maybe you're right. Maybe they're thinking, like, maybe we get a punt block. Simmons going to keep this himself.
Stay in bounds. There
exactly. Darn right. He does stay in bounds, so the clock will keep going. Let's see what happens now.
Yeah, surprised they hadn't called a timeout.
Well, right. That after calling the first two, I would agree.
You got a chance if they go to punt it, you could block it, or regardless if they try to run a play, you get the ball on your side.
And a couple of terrific returners, but none of that's going to happen. It looks like the clock is just going to tick, and that is precisely how the first half of tonight's action will come to an end, with Pensacola looking good and up 6-0. It's Friday Night Rivals, and certainly we're glad to have you with us. So far, the rain has held off here very late in the season. Of course, a lot of big games going on up and down the Gulf Coast. And before we take our break, we always like to try and catch up with one of the coaches, get you an interview with both before the half is done. The Comfort Dental Smile Cam showing the action here in the stands for the West Florida fans.
Bit of a wild first half for us. I mean, if you had told me PHS was leading 6-0 going into halftime in this game, I would have been like, yeah, right. And that's not discrediting PHS. I mean, they have come out and absolutely played some ball tonight.
Good.
But just West Florida, I thought that with the offense, the way it is and how good Jaheim Simmons and them are, I mean, they were going to put some points on the board, but credit that defensive front for PHS. They have played some ball tonight.
They've looked very good. Of course, we've pointed out now multiple times that West Florida's regular starting quarterback, Butala, not in the game, so that has aided to it. But that Pensacola defense has done a terrific job on Jaheim. I mean, he's great. Simmons is a tough guy to slow down, and they have certainly done that tonight. So you're right. We've seen a punt block. We've seen a fake punt. An exciting night so far. Let's cruise down for the sideline report from Brownsville Welding with Clayton Habecker.
Guys, down here with Coach Leonard. Tight game going into the second half. What's the main key adjustments you got to make?
Well, we've just got to execute better. We've had our opportunities. We've been down inside the red zone, I think, 3 times and only coming away with 1 touchdown. So we've got to make sure that we execute better. We just work a few things out, and I think we'll be fine. We're playing great defense, and I think if our guys can go and make those adjustments, we'll do really well in the second half.
So I'm seeing your left arm there. Is that a little good luck charm you got going on tonight?
That is Sophie's Tiger. My daughter and my wife got that for me last week, and we took it to Arnold and got our first victory. And I said I'd never wear it on my sleeve, but my daughter won my heart, and I put it on my sleeve, and the players love it. It's kind of our rallying cry. We've had the 12-man all year, but Soph's Tiger has become the rallying cry the last week.
There you go. Get a little good luck charm going on. So one more question for you, Coach. It is the Friday before Halloween. What is Coach Leonard going to be for Halloween?
What am I going to be for Halloween? I guess the Tasmanian Devil. That's me.
I would like to see that.
All right,
Best of luck to you in the second half,
Clayton.
Coach.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clayton. We appreciate that. And Sophie's Tiger there.
She won his heart.
Listen, they won last week with it. They're winning 6-0 now.
Sophie's onto something.
You got it. Probably thinking, why didn't I wear this all season long? So we appreciate Coach Leonard stopping and giving us that time. Thank you, Clayton. Glad to have you all with us here. The halftime report is coming up. Stay with us, folks. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back. It is the halftime report, and we're glad you're with us. Andy Citron, of course, brings us this halftime report each and every single week, and we certainly appreciate that, Mr. Citron. Glad to have you all with us. As you know, if you watch this show, we are regularly saying thank you to so many of the professionals in the area who help us put this thing on. By the way, it's just great. The band tonight, fully decked out. They all got to wear costumes. I don't know if they got to pick their own, but I think that was Doc Brown from Back to the Future. I actually saw Marty McFly. He's down there. There he is, bottom left. That's Marty McFly. So that right next to him was Doc Brown. it's a good time here. We've seen someone dressed up as a banana. Several members of the Incredibles are out there. I see Dorothy on the right, just having a good time. So it's a fun time of year, that is for sure. And again, we want to say thanks to all of our sponsors who help make this thing happen. If you've been watching, you know that we go down to Clayton Habecker several times a game. He gives us these terrific sideline reports, and that doesn't happen easily. So thank you so much to Brownsville Welding, who helps us with that. And with that in mind, hey, Clayton.
Hey guys, like you said, you kick it down to me. Well, I'm about to kick it out to somebody else. An unsung hero from last week during that rainy game was Robbie Hughes, filling in my absence for that game. He did so good, they sent him over to Brownsville Welding to catch up with the guys over there. So I am now going to kick it over to Robbie and the Brownsville Welding crew.
I'm here with Tony Stinson with Brownsville Ornamental Ironworks, who are proud sponsors of our sideline reports. And Tony, just give me a brief overview. What does Brownsville Welding, what services do you provide?
Well, we try to really concentrate on the ornamental iron trade of it to build handrails, gates, fence, spiral staircases, just something that we can put up at people's homes that they can look back and be proud of that it was homemade right here in Pensacola.
And how long has Brownsville Welding been in Northwest Florida and serving our community?
My dad started it in 1964, and me and Doug took it over probably 30 years ago, and we're just trying to keep going the tradition going that my dad started a long time ago.
So people watching this might be thinking, man, welding, that looks really cool. What do you say to students who want to get involved with the vocational trades like welding and all of this, and what do you say to them?
It's a big opportunity here in Pensacola. Welding has been here forever, and it's not going away. And it's a really cool trade to get into if you're young and motivated and like hard work. I would really recommend checking welding out as a profession.
Yeah, and everything you guys do looks really, really cool. You can see it all over Pensacola, everything that they do. Now, Brownsville Welding is known for sponsoring local teams, football teams, cheerleading, on, and you guys are just known to do that. Why is that so important to you guys to get so involved with these local sports?
Well, we grew up playing sports as 5-year-olds, and we just love Scambia, Santa Rosa County. My wife's a teacher in Santa Rosa County. My sister-in-law is a teacher in Santa Rosa County. We love teachers, and we love doing anything that has to do with the schools in the local area.
Very good. Well, back to you.
Thank you again, certainly to Robbie and to Brownsville Welding. As we've said, we're not just, it's not lip service. This is not easy to put this show on. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of money. And so all of those sponsors who help us make sure it happens each and every week, we appreciate it. And certainly Brownsville Welding is a big member of that team, and we're extremely appreciative. Another thing we love to do is highlight special students. And as long as we're giving shout outs to all of our terrific partners in the Friday Night Rivals endeavor, let's say thanks to the Levin Law Firm, who of course brings us the A+ athlete each and every week. And we've got a good one this week. Akila Reeves, a 4.0 grade point average, which would not surprise you. She is, after all, the A+ athlete. She's a volleyball player. She's a track star as well, and she is no doubt proud to be featured this week as our A+ athlete from Levin Law Firm.
I feel great. I'm really honored to be able to have this reward, and I just want to thank all my coaches, my parents, everyone who supported me, my friends, the deans at PHS. Everyone here is really supportive, and I just love to thank them for everything that they've done for me. And I'd also like to thank Levin Papantonio for sponsoring this and giving me this award.
I'm attorney Steve Luongo with Levin Papantonio. And at Levin Papantonio, we understand the value of education and teamwork that is gained through high school sports. That's why we are a proud supporter of student athletes everywhere.
But yeah, I did participate in sports. I went to Pensacola High School, as a matter of fact, back in the 60s. Played baseball for Fred Waters, who's a well-known baseball coach around here. Teamwork, that's the main thing that's to be learned from team sports. And nobody can do anything on their own. You need somebody to help you. And that's a great lesson to learn for anybody in life.
Bates was a good kicker. This one will be returned. Blake. Oh, Was that a lateral or a fumble? But it worked. That happened so fast that it ended up in the hands of Jesse Bush.
And then Bush catches it in the air.
Oh, man.
That way, looking to the sideline, and he's able to get it complete at the 21. As he had his buddy right behind him.
Yeah, one low, one high, and the high receiver coming down with it.
Fourth down, and that run is blocked. Took an extra step. Goes right into the arms of the defender, Nicholas Alarcon. Touchdown.
Where he jiggles the ball and tries to get the laces away, that's what did it.
Quick hitter out to Martin. Martin has it jarred loose by Gerardo. It's picked up out of midair by Devin Mills.
With time, guns downfield, far side, throws it up for grabs. Pass, is it caught? Oh, what a tip drill. The pass is caught.
They bring some pressure. It's 3 guys off the left side, only 2 guys to block him, and that is number 48 for the Centerville Elks.
Trying to reach the stretch red zone. Now Burkett flushed out of the pocket, comes back near side, back over the middle, and it is incomplete. Oh, it's juggled and caught. Touchdown, Franklin, my goodness. It comes off the foot and into the hands of Arndt.
Earn your career in a year at Laughlin Technical College. The mission of Laughlin Tech is to prepare students for current and emergent high-demand careers through collaboration with community stakeholders. Expanding opportunities and access to training programs will provide a talent pipeline to meet regional workforce demands. From automotive to welding and legal administrative specialist, go to laughlintech.com for information about classes and registration.
We're back for just a moment here. It's the Andy Citron halftime report on Friday Night Rivals. We're going to get this thing started here in just a couple of minutes. You can see Pensacola's up 6-0. So bear with us. We're just going to take another quick break, folks. When we come back, we're going to hear from the coach and get things going. Stay with us. Just as the half started, we heard from Todd Leonard, Pensacola's head coach. Now we go down to Clayton Hobecker, who's got Coach Brent Summerford standing by.
Down here with Coach Summerford. Obviously a tight game going into the second half. What was the main message to the guys coming out of the locker room?
Well, we got to create some offensive momentum. We hadn't had that. Hats off to them, done a good job first half, kind of keeping us down on our side of the field, and just really did not get any kind of momentum. So really, second half, we got to get some momentum offensively. I think we'll be all right.
I did ask Coach Leonard. I'll ask you as well. Halloween's coming up. What are you going to be for Halloween?
No idea.
No idea yet?
No idea yet.
I'll let you get back to your team, Coach, and you can come up with an answer after the game.
Thank you, man.
Back up to you guys.
Listen, the fact that Clayton went 1 for 2 on that is a victory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm happy he got one answer. That's well done, Mr. Hobecker. Why not ask? So, excuse me. So let's get back to business here. Pensacola is up 6-0, and they got to feel good about that. We talked about it off the top. Neither team has had a great year. Both teams coming in at 1-7. Let's take a look at some of the stats here and see how the first half played out. We know the score is 6-0, but we can see what it looks like on paper.
Well, that's exactly how you expect it to look like when it's 6-0.
Yep, not a lot of offense here. As you can see, Pensacola had 57 yards passing. Not surprising. You know, Nate Simmons is a good quarterback, although obviously that's nothing too huge. West Florida just 20, and then rushing 16. So that's 36 total yards for West Florida Tech, which is surprising. They do have, terrific running back, as we've said. Jaheim Simmons is so good, and he's not done much tonight, which surprises me, Jeff.
Well, even I guess the biggest surprise is the fact that the PHS pitched a shutout in the first half, and they've given up a lot of points this year, and there's a lot of blame to go around for those guys. They're still up and coming, and a lot of young guys out there, but that defense has kind of been a weakness for them. And tell you what, no weakness tonight. They haven't just shut them out; they have dominated them up front.
And we keep pointing out that West Florida's quarterback they've had all year, Dawson Butala, is not playing. We believe he's injured, but that has impacted the game because it's definitely impacted the passing game, and as a result, West Florida's just running it up the middle a whole lot, which no doubt is helping Pensacola.
Well, and you look at the passing yards as West Florida had 20.
Yeah.
Well, those came on pretty much the last drive.
Right, that's true. Yeah, good point. Yeah, at the very end there.
How about that? A comfort dental smile, Kim. Been that type of game tonight.
Yeah, let's just relaxing. It's a fine, breezy evening. The rain's not coming. Look, looking at their phones. Yeah.
Look like you taking the selfies.
That's all I do. I can tell you, in my defense on that, my selfie camera on my phone has been broken for a long, long time. I think it probably was broken for months before I knew it, which I'm very proud of. So top of the game, Pensacola won the toss. They received, so that means West Florida, of course, will get the ball now, and they're ready to do it. Looks like Quantarius Gaines is going to get the ball. He's terrific, too. Quite the playmaker, making a move or two, but still on his feet. We do have a flag. He gets it all the way out to the 35. Another flag comes in late, both in the same area. So whatever that call is, probably going to mean it's coming back. That's a fine return from Gaines.
Yeah, really good job by Gaines. And
not going to matter, I don't believe.
Yeah, usually when you get a big return, there's always laundry in the backfield somewhere.
Some sort of a block in the back, perhaps. So that's how the second half will start. There we go. Looks like he's talking to his crew there as we get a look at the Bob Tyler replay. Gaines just took a moment or two to survey things, got outside, and had some room. That could be the penalty right there, although that didn't look like a block in the back. Not sure. But that is right about where they threw it. And the flag, by the way, you saw come in at the end, that was the second flag. There was one in the same zone, but it happened first. So it goes all the way back, and that means West Florida will start deep in their own territory. And as you probably know by now, that's Antoine Johnson playing the role of quarterback. He's going to throw. Throws outside, and nothing doing. Intended target Simeon Price. Threw it behind him, so it's going to bring up second down.
Yeah, and that's where you miss Butala a lot, and that's kind of been how it is for him tonight. Tough sledding on the passing game, and hey, Mr. Johnson is a running back. All right, he is put in this situation. I'm sure he didn't really, maybe he practiced a little bit, but it's hard to have a guy, with Butala getting shaken up last week, as Dan told us, to come in here against a PHS squad. It's got a good defensive front as we've seen tonight, but tough sled for the young man, and you hope they can figure it out.
That was a direct snap to Simeon Price. And he's hit pretty quickly, pretty hard. He doesn't go anywhere. Might have lost a yard or two, so it's going to bring up third and very long from deep in their own territory. So more good news for Pensacola. Ball down at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and even scarier for West Florida is that young man had his heels on the goal line right there. Could have been really ugly, really fast.
So that is a loss of about 2, and now third down and 12. Johnson getting a little info there from Coach Summerford saying, "What shall I do, Coach?" I don't know if that's exactly what he said. I couldn't hear.
Oh, I thought you were, yeah.
No, I couldn't.
Oh,
that's
okay.
just, I'm assuming that it was along those lines.
Had me fooled.
Not the hardest thing in the world to do.
I'm not going to disagree there.
Third and 12.
No, delay a game.
Well, I guess Johnson's time he spent with Coach Summerfield cost him. Although, does it really cost you that much? Because you're
Listen,
already
Christian,
down.
those 3 inches are really going to hurt this West Florida team.
That's called sarcasm. So it will lose a couple. It's going to bring up third down and about 15 instead now from the 2 rather than the 5. So it's a half the distance situation on the delay of game. Third down and 15 from their own 2-yard line. And if they are going to pass here, got to be very, very careful.
Well, keep in mind, if there is holding, it's in the end zone. That's a safety.
Safety, right. So let's see what happens here. They're not going to try and put it in the air. Instead, they give it to somebody they can rely on and have done so all season long. Jaheim Simmons. He picks up a few, not nearly enough, though, and so we're going to see a punt.
Yeah, good job by PHS. Great way to come out and start this second half here. And now you're giving your offense going to give them good field position. I mean, absolutely good field position. And I think if you're PHS, you got to come out and you got to score quickly.
I bet they would like to do that.
Easier said than done.
Especially
in a game like this.
Disagree with you. That's Whitehurst is one of the backs here for PHS, and I'll tell you, he's at the 45-yard line of West Florida. So if he's the guy who fields this thing, they're going to get great field position. Now it takes a really nice bounce, and it will not be. That's just a great punt. All the way back now at about the 43-yard line of Pensacola. So still very good field position, but not quite as good as we were thinking. And worked out well for West Florida. See if their defense can put something together here?
You saw McCreary wanted to pick that punt up, and you saw all the coaches on the PHS sideline jumping up and down saying, "Get away,
Leave
get
it
away."
alone, leave it alone. 9:38 to go here, third quarter. Pensacola up 6-0. They, excuse me, they scored on a blocked punt. They didn't actually score on the blocked punt, but it set them up in terrific field position. They turned that into points, missed the extra point. This was all about midway through the first quarter, and that's how we've landed at 6-0.
Boy, pressure early right there.
Simmons completes the pass. That is number 5, Calvin McCreary. We've been calling his name all night long, and that's going to be a nice gain of about 5.
And Mr. Purifoy shooting through the line right there, as you see in 44, just right in his face immediately. Yep. Good job by Simmons to get it to McCreary.
Yep. Stuck his ground, got it, got the completion there. Almost to midfield, about the 49-yard line, and second down and 5.
Keep in mind, when somebody blitzes like that as an outside linebacker, that's going to leave those little slants, quick passes open.
So would that lead you to believe that Simmons, let's see what happens here. Wow, could have been picked off. Would that lead you to believe that he adjusted and knew because of the pressure this is where there's an opening? Or did that just work out well, that where he was going all along was going to be open because of where that pressure was coming from?
I think that it was just a design play, and it just happened to work in their favor.
Gotcha.
I mean, with the way that McCreary ran a little square in really quick, like a two-step, and boom right there. And
yeah, it's almost too quick to have made the decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right. So an incomplete pass there leads us to third down now.
See Coach Leonard and his tiger on his wrist.
Yep, that's right. That's Sophie's tiger, if I'm not mistaken. Simmons going to complete it. That's going to be a first down, no doubt about it. A missed tackle. It may have been a first down anyway, but there's no doubt about it after the extra yardage from the missed tackle. And a nice gain there.
Yeah, Tywan Thomas.
Tywan Thomas makes the play. It's an Anderson Subaru 1st and 10 for Pensacola, now down to the 40-yard line after the 11-yard gain on 3rd and 5.
Yeah, really good job. And we told you Simmons coming in statistically was one of the best quarterbacks in the area. And you see right there, they love that short passing game. And interested to see when they're going to take another shot downfield, though.
Yeah, you called it before the game. You mentioned that he's had a really good year. This time they're not taking the shot downfield, not through the air anyway. That's a handoff up the middle. Number 21 looks like Austin Childers. Gets his hands on it, gets a yard or two perhaps. That'll... Well, no, I'll take that back. He may have gotten 3 or 4, but going to bring up second down at about 7.
Yeah, you see the West Florida band. Yeah, how about those uniforms?
Yeah.
Man, oh man, lighting up tonight. Of course, PHS is in their costumes.
Yeah, everybody's having a good time. I mean, it's great. It's a great time of year. You know, this is most definitely the most comfortable temperature-wise. That was the Comfort Dental Smile Cam. And the bands are here having fun. The game is 6-0. It's a one-possession game. No complaints here. This is great. The keeper this time around.
Calvin McCreary playing a little Wildcat for the Tigers.
Did you ever see Wildcats?
Nope. Not even sure what you're talking about.
The 1983 Goldie Hawn Classic.
I was not even thought of.
I knew you hadn't. I just wanted to ask. I wish everybody at home could have seen the look you gave me. That's
yeah, I do too, because I just looked at you like, what?
As I've ever seen you.
Am I supposed to know?
And it made me question. I was like, did I ask something bad? Why is he looking at me like that? This is gold. Nearly picked off.
Oh, man. And
boy,
looks like we may have
it.
roughing the passer right there.
So if that's the case, it would not have mattered. But my goodness, that's William Carlisle who nearly picked it off. But
yep. Roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer, first down situation anyway.
Once again, just a crazy game tonight.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everything. Like you said, there's the roughing the passer. It's going to be an Anderson Subaru 1st and 10, and Pensacola keeps moving it. Let's take a look and see if we can. Looks like he got hit right after he got
and it looked like it was toward his head as well, the neck area.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Yep.
And a big change there of field because of the penalty. You can see the official walking it off from about the 40 to about the 20, down at the 21-yard line now. So not quite the red zone, literally 1 yard away for Pensacola. And I do need to finish up that Wildcats discussion.
I think we're good.
No, this one. I mentioned Goldie Hawn. Well, I can also tell you, as Simmons is going to throw to the end zone, and he's got his man. Oh, mercy. Couldn't quite bring it in. Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes both starred. How about that? See, you needed to
Right
know.
on.
Simmons throws the end zone here.
Boy, Powell, and you see him go up
Look at
right
him.
there. And,
Thought he might get it off right there.
and I tell you what, though, and it was a good throw and letting his man go up and get it. But Jonathan Champagne right there, the senior, he's only 5'6", going up against 6'3". I mean, good call on Simmons' part, but way to recover right there by the corner.
Shit. Champagne says, bottoms up.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, I worked hard for that one.
Can we say that in high school football?
Can I? Well, I did. So I guess it's a hard
Right,
yes.
here we are, next play.
I did.
Uh-oh.
Ball's on the ground and still on the
boy.
ground. And
Somebody's
you
gotta
know,
pick it up.
Exactly. There's been a lot of chances to get it.
Boy, if PHS
and
comes out with
they
this
sure
ball.
do get it. That's
Gee.
Simmons. Nate Simmons is the guy ultimately. Look like about 9 different people had a chance to fall on that ball. A huge opportunity missed for West Florida. Watch this.
Boy,
Just
shame
incredible.
on the Jags right
So a
here
low
because
snap. Look at
watch
this.
this.
1,
Trying to
2,
pick it up and
3.
run is Purifoy.
Still not caught yet. Look, there it is. Still. Finally, Simmons. Incredible.
We see Mr. Champagne down there on the ground trying to grab it, and then you see Mr. Purifoy trying to pick it up and run it. If they would have just both fell on it, they'd have had the football. But
So it is an 8-yard loss, though, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 18.
that's a very manageable third down.
They may just throw to the end zone again. Let's see. Simmons is going to throw outside and complete the pass, but going to be short of the first down. And
K.D. Whitehurst on the reception.
That's going to be 4th and 4. It puts them in field goal position if they are so inclined. We've seen them go for it, though, in these situations tonight and not kick the field goal. They did miss the extra point. So perhaps the kicking game is not ready for that. It's a 12-yard pickup, and as I said, that still brings up 4th down and about 5. They are going to go for it. The Synovus red zone occupied right now by Pensacola from the, looks like the 16 to be specific.
Yeah, they've been in Synovus red zone a few times tonight.
Simmons throws the end zone, but throws it high, and it's going to be no flags on the field. That's a turnover on down, so West Florida gets what they need. And for the second time tonight, Pensacola in the red zone comes away with no points. So it's 6-0, and it looks like with 5:29 to play, we have our water break timeout on the field. So it's Hill Kelly Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Rams, Friday night rivals. Current score, same as it has been for quite some time. Pensacola 6, West Florida 0. We'll be right back. We're back live. The band kicking it tonight. They are fully decked out in the Halloween spirit, wearing costumes. If you've watched this season, you know I'm a child of the 80s. The reference is coming fast and furious, and we've seen some tonight in those costumes. I love the Back to the Future stuff. An incomplete pass here on 1st down as West Florida is ready to roll again. Antoine Johnson has been playing the role of QB. He is backing up Dawson Butala Gumbo, who's not playing tonight, injured. We don't have the specifics. We do know Clayton found out he was injured. We'd heard he may come in, and that hasn't happened yet. So at this point, more than midway through the 3rd, you got to think, Jeff, we may just not be seeing him tonight.
Yeah, and rightfully so. If what we had heard with possible concussion-like symptoms, definitely it's not worth it.
He's not coming in. Nope, not worth it, like you said. 2nd down now. Johnson goes deep and has a man.
Uh-oh.
Just kind of a jump ball at midfield, an incomplete pass. May have an injury there, slow to get up. That's number 13. Oh, that's Quanteris Gaines, who's so talented.
Tell you what, Ladarius Powell is lucky he got away with that one because he never turned around and looked for the football. And a lot of times when you bump into a receiver like that and you're not looking for the football, the referees will throw the flag. And tough right there for Gaines. And you see him come off the field, you sure hope he's all right.
Yeah, he did seem to get hurt there. So it's 3rd down now and 10. And West Florida, Jeff, all night has been deep in their own territory. They've had no field position. Haven't really moved the ball at all. Johnson throws it out wide, does complete the pass. And just as I say that, they more than move it here. A big game breaker. See you later, folks. That's going to be Simeon Price. Boy, wow, what a turn of events. A huge play on 3rd and 10 from their own 17-yard line, an 83-yard touchdown. And this crowd comes alive.
Absolutely awesome right there. And we got a flag in the middle of the field, though. As you see Price, just put a move on a man right there and almost loses his footing, and he is off to the races.
At this point, said, no, you're not catching him.
Look at that form right there.
Is it coming back, though? It sure is. Oh, boy. The whole thing's coming back, folks.
And that's just kind of been the night for West Florida today.
Wow.
They finally get that big spark play, just what they needed, and it's coming back.
There you go. And Antoine Johnson, the quarterback, before we knew it was coming back, he was so pumped after that touchdown, jumping up and down, just couldn't believe how things had turned. Got himself an 83-yard touchdown pass, all for naught. So it was 3rd and 10. The crowd is booing. Not real pleased with the call. That is not surprising. Now, Jeff, it's at the 45-yard line, so the hold happened well after the completion, it looks like. So they're not going back to the line of scrimmage and losing the yards. They get a big gain. They just don't get the 83-yard touchdown.
And that kind of tells you that it's most likely was not necessary.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. No, you're right.
With it being on the sideline.
Right. No, that's a great point. That's a great point. Looks like a timeout on the field here, so it is going to be a 1st and 10 when we come back for West Florida. They've had their biggest play from scrimmage. See how this turns out next. Good evening and happy Friday Night Rivals, everybody. Next week is our last game. Hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage we've been bringing all year long now. 1st and 10 here for West Florida. Johnson is going to get sacked. I thought for a brief moment I may have seen a quick touch of the face mask. There is no flag, so he's sacked. It's a loss of about 5, it looks like.
Yeah, Tristan Reynolds, the junior, coming in to make the sack right there. Once again, that PHS front doing its thing tonight.
Yep. There you can see our scheduled game next week is Tate versus West Florida Tech.
Well,
that
we think.
That's our scheduled game, as I said. That would bring us right back here. Throws it behind it there. Johnson misses his man, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 15.
And we say we think because the Crestview game got moved. We had a game on Monday night, then playing Lincoln, and Crestview coming out to win. And we were supposed to be at Milton Pace. That got moved because they decided to move to Thursday. So our schedule is Tate at West Florida, but we'll see.
Yeah, a little fluid right now based on everything that's happened the last couple of weeks with 2 separate tropical threats. This one less than last week, certainly. Nonetheless, the weather has played a significant role. And we'll see what happens. We may be sitting in this very same location 1 week from tonight. 3rd and 15. Johnson throws it out wide again, completes the pass. And that's Gaines, who's able to make the catch. Only picks up, though, it looks like about 7 or 8 when they needed more like 15. So it will be 4th down and 7.
Yeah, interested to see what they're going to do here for West Florida.
Just about to ask your opinion. What would you do in this situation based on what we've seen tonight?
Well, why not go for it? I mean, and here's my thing. You're down 6-0. It's not like you're down by 2 or 3 touchdowns. It's not like you've been dominated all night. It's just try to find any offense. You see they bring the punting unit on. But regardless right there, there's really no bad choice. But maybe you generate a little spark here if you were to get a 1st down.
Yep. And, of course, the other side of the coin is, hey, it's only a 1-possession game right now. Let's not take a chance. Let's get the defense on the field. Maybe set ourselves up with some good field position if we can get a stop.
Well, and you probably have to throw the football to get a 1st down, and West Florida just hasn't been able to do that tonight.
Having a rough night doing that. So we've got
delay a game.
Yep, we've seen that a couple of times. That'll move them back a couple, just make it 4th and a little bit longer. They were punting anyway. So
if that had been PHS, a penalty on PHS, maybe that changes coach's decision right there.
Might have turned into a 4th and 2. So now it's 4th and more like 12, but again, they're punting anyway. And Pensacola's back and ready to go. Oh, that's a good-looking punt.
Yeah, really good punt.
Fair catch caught for and received right at about the 13-yard line. That's Whitehurst who hauls it in. So the West Florida defense is going to come on the field and do their best to help the offense out, maybe get them some good field position. And for the first time tonight, maybe give West Florida a chance not to start deep in their own territory. But first, the defense will have to slow down Nate Simmons, who, of course, as you said, has had a very good season, and he's had a very good night.
Yeah, really good. And keep in mind, we had PHS earlier this season against the undefeated Washington team. And And, he threw a couple interceptions because he had pressure in his face. They had to roll him out of the pocket. And, of course, Washington has that dominating defense that we've seen. But tonight he's been pretty calm and collected, even with pressure in his face.
Yeah, sure has. They're going to run this up the middle and maybe get a yard or two. Let's talk about that, the Washington Wildcats for a moment. They haven't lost. Big game tonight at Escambia.
Yeah, they're down big right now. It's tough sledding, but nonetheless, regardless of the outcome, just what Coach Whidden has been able to do there at Washington, and I say it over and over again, I think they're just the feel-good story of Pensacola this year. 0-10 last year. To take a team 0-10 and bring them to 8-0, if that was a college football team, they would be poster everywhere, you know.
No, I'm with you. It's just an incredible story. It really is. Second down now and 10, and we do have a flag here as Simmons will scramble and complete the pass. Took a bounce, so incomplete, and there's a flag in the backfield, so none of that may matter. It's going to be a hold against Pensacola. Going to back them up a little bit more. It'll be a replay of second down, second and maybe 20.
You see Purifoy, number 44, the outside linebacker, who's been everywhere tonight, come off hobbling, kind of grabbing looks like his calf right there. I hope it's just a cramp for him.
So they declined the penalty there. They'd rather have the 3rd and 10 versus the 2nd and 20. There you can see. There came the flag. Here comes Simmons, and incomplete. Did take a quick bounce there. So 3rd and 10. And back to that Washington. So Escambia, we've said it was very clear that they're just one of the best teams here in Northwest Florida, and they're looking real good tonight against Washington, who hadn't lost yet.
Well, I think the biggest thing with Washington is nothing changed. It's the same players they had the year before, and that just shows you what good coaching can do for you when players buy into your program. That's what Coach Leonard at PHS is trying to get his guys to do right now.
All kinds of movement there. Probably going to be a false start. Let's get that confirmed. If so, it'll make it 3rd and just a bit longer. As it stands, it's 3rd and 10.
Not sure if this is false start or offsides. Interested in what they call. Yep, false start.
So still 3rd down, but 3rd down and a whole lot longer. And from deep in their own territory, this is an opportunity presenting itself now for West Florida defense and West Florida in general.
And I think if you're PHS, you maybe run the football here to not set up that big interception that could be.
They are going to pass it. It's a completed pass, but it's little gain, maybe picking up a yard or two. So now 4th and about 12. And, of course, that's going to mean punt time for Pensacola. And good news for West Florida. Quanterus Gaines is already making his way on the field.
You see Powell right there in the reception. That's the big receiver, 6'3" for him. Interesting call is maybe if you throw that to McCreary, one of your speed guys. Powell's not known for his speed as much as his size right there. And maybe Powell run down the sideline, you throw it deep, but to a pass like that, I would give it to a guy like McCreary that can make something happen in a hurry.
Make a play because they need it a lot. So it's 4th and 12, and again, they're going to punt, obviously. Quanterus Gaines is back at the 45-yard line, so this should be the best field position that West Florida Tech has had all night. Fair catch is caught, and sure enough, they're going to start on the Pensacola side. So that's good news for West Florida, who moments ago had the 83-yard touchdown break called back. It was the most exciting play, certainly for them offensively, and the most exciting play of the night. Turned into about a 20-yard gain. Ultimately, they punted, and this has led us to where we stand right now.
Well, this is the second time West Florida started on the positive side. They've had such poor field position all night long.
All night.
And once again, let's talk about the defense for West Florida doing a really good job, because PHS has been inside the Synovus red zone quite a few times tonight. Only has 6 points.
It's been very good red zone D, and that's going to be, I think, offsides on Pensacola. Looked like several of the Tigers jumped. We'll see if they were drawn. I don't think they were. But
no, I don't. I think it was just a hard count by the quarterback.
Yeah. That's going to be an encroachment call against Pensacola. So now they just keep moving down to the 42-yard line, and it'll make it 1st and 5.
See Coach Leonard right there. And that young man, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
You talk about tough sledding.
Yeah.
Got the call to be he's listed as a running back. Had to play quarterback all night long for these Jags.
Yeah. And he's got his team in it. Short passes has been the name of the game, and this is going to be a nice play. Just a great move and a huge gainer. He's still in bounds. Did he get into the end zone?
I think he's in.
No, they're going to call him down. Oh, looks like we may have another flag on the play, folks.
That's basically the same play he scored on last time.
Yep, and it's coming back again. That is Simeon Price, who had the huge game breaker on the very last possession.
It's another holding call.
Once again, the exact same thing happens. It's all coming back, and that's got to be so frustrating for him specifically. And I get it. It's a team game. It's frustrating for everyone. But that's 2 huge plays that he's broken that come back and you end up losing.
Yeah, that's about 125 imaginary yards. And you call them imaginary yards is those plays that when you go back and look at film of what could have been.
Yep.
But ends up not. You see the Bob Tyler Toyota instant replay. Let's see if we can find out that hold. See if it's by a receiver. And it was right there on the receiver.
He's got
making the block.
He's got those afterburners, man. When he gets outside. And look at him. Look at him right away. Touchdown, right?
Just slide right there.
Says, I'll call it. Just let me call it. That's 5 West Florida flags this half. So hurting themselves more than Pensacola is. And now the ball is placed right at midfield. It's going to be first down and about 13 after the penalty. This time, Johnson wants to go long. And it looks like a route mix-up there.
I think it was just a poorly thrown ball. Was it? Because he was trying to run they faked the little screenplay here and then run Price over the top, and just that ball has got to be thrown a lot deeper.
And based on what I've seen in the last few minutes, just get Price the ball.
Yeah,
just get Price the ball, get out of the way.
Hey, well, they try to throw it deep to him. Why not just throw that little screen?
Exactly.
Just get it out to him any way possible.
Both of those called back touchdowns. I'm not sure the second one was officially ruled a touchdown. Looked like he got it to me, but both of those were screen passes. And just again let him do his thing. Second down now and 13. This time they are going to throw a little bit of a screen. That's not Price receiving it, but instead that is Markel Holman who brings it in, picks up a few, so third down and 8.
Yeah, and way to hang on right there by the free safety Michael McCorvey. We've seen a few missed tackles by the secondary of PHS, and really, really big play bringing up a 3rd and long right here.
Yeah, 3rd and long, third more like 10. Just barely on, as you said, the positive side of the field for West Florida. They've just crossed midfield now.
Tell you one thing, we see West Florida trying to throw the football more. I mean, and that's credit to that PHS front tonight. They have really slowed that running game down, which most people haven't been able to this year.
No doubt about it. That, to me, is the revelation of the night, is how well Pensacola's defense has slowed specifically Jaheim Simmons, who is so talented down. Johnson rolling out. Got a rocket there. Probably should have been caught and would have been right at about the pickup of a 9. Would have been just shy there. That's Isaac Walton Jr. who could not bring it in. So instead it's going to be 4th and long, and we'll see what they do.
Yeah, just slinging it out there.
Yeah, really strong
arm strength.
pass. Maybe too much arm strength there. So are they going to go for it? Let's see here.
Looks like they are. They're sending Johnson on the field.
As you can see, we're very late in the 3rd, less than a minute to go. And 4th down and just over 10 yards here, but West Florida going to take their chances. Johnson finds his man, and this time it is caught once again. It's Price. Once again, he's outside, making spin moves. The gamble pays off. Terrific rollout from Johnson, gets it to Simeon Price. It's a conversion there, and big doings for West Florida.
And I tell you, watch this replay right here. And watch how he changes, gets his shoulders around, and squares his shoulders to the line of scrimmage, and that's what creates the accuracy and being able to get enough on the ball to get it to Price. And man,
Price is like a video game.
And I tell you what, just credit to Johnson right there, because that was textbook. You see him swing his shoulders around, and they always tell you, get your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, and you just see the arm strength after that.
So on 4th and just over 10, it's a 20-yard gain, a big-time play, and much to the pleasure of Mr. Price, no penalty. It doesn't get called back, so the gain stands. Now coming the other way, and this is Quanteris Gaines, who, what an effort. They had him in the backfield. They're not going to get him. That's going to be a touchdown. Quanterius Gaines, they had him in the backfield. 2 or 3 guys had a shot. He, wow, what an effort there. Just terrific moves from Gaines, who scores the touchdown, and the West Florida offense has come alive.
Well, and you look at West Florida, you know, when they haven't been able to throw the ball deep, they haven't been able to run the football. What's their go-to now? Hey, let's just throw these high percentage passes and just let them go out there and make some moves. I mean, those are just poor missed tackles on that defense, and they played so well tonight. Great job by Mr. Gaines.
We told you at the beginning of the night that Quanterius Gaines is a playmaker and he'd play a role, and now he certainly has. The game is currently tied because, remember, Pensacola missed their PAT in the first quarter, so now West Florida's got a shot to take the lead, but someone's running on the field very late. It hits the upright. It is
my goodness.
Good. And that means it is 6-6. So both teams have scored. Both teams have missed the extra point. And just like that, we've got ourselves a 6-6 game. Jeff, you said an hour ago we've seen everything. So we go to the Comfort Dental smile cam, and nope, not a lot of smiles on that one. I think the West Florida fans are pretty shocked that that's how that turned out. Thought for sure they had a chance to take the lead, and this game just keeps giving. Hey, Dorothy's here.
Just when you think you got things figured out, boy.
Incredible.
Man, this has been wild.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Love that.
I tell you, I didn't think that the defenses were going to dominate like they have tonight. And just credit to both these schools. And I tell you what, though, you see Gaines score that touchdown. You think Simeon Price is a little upset?
Yeah. He's like, what do I have to do around here?
He scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
They both got called back. And that's probably how he feels right there. Like, that should have been me.
Well, Simeon Price, despite the fact that those got called back, they were highlight material. He looked spectacular. And don't forget, he did make the big catch on the play before, the 20-yard gain on 4th down. The touchdown to Quanterius Gaines was actually a 28-yard touchdown. So big plays from West Florida. Tied the game. It is 6-6. A very short punt going to be fielded at about the 18-yard line. And he's got a little bit of room. Gets it all the way back out to the 30-yard line. So Pensacola will start there with pretty good field position. It looks like here we go again. 6-6. Jeff?
Yeah, I mean,
the extra point hits the upright. Can't believe it.
You saw me once it hit the upright. I was just shaking my head.
Couldn't believe it.
I mean, that's just kind of how it's gone tonight, you know. And hang on, because we still got another quarter to play, and maybe we see overtime the way this is going.
You may be right. With 16 seconds left here, this particular quarter is winding down. And I will say that West Florida's offense here in the second half has looked a lot better. I won't be shocked if they put something together. Handoff up the middle, picks up a yard perhaps. Going to be 2nd down and 9. And very likely, we have a flag? Oh, yeah, sure do. Got a flag on the play. I was going to say very likely the final play of the quarter, but that's before I saw that. Laundry at the 50. That's a long way away for that flag, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm not
nowhere
sure
near
what
the
this
line
would
of
be.
scrimmage. I mean, that's 30 yards from the line of scrimmage. Looks like the call was he was doing the YMCA.
So you're saying that's the YMCA call?
That was funny. As long as we're laughing, Jeff.
I love it. I just like this. You talk about, you know, that you have all these references that I have no idea because
well, you know
before
that
my
one.
time. But you know, you keep me on my toes. I used to keep Tommy. You know, of course Tommy Thrall used to do this show with us, but.
Please don't tell Tommy about this. I'm sure he'll be like, God, Jeff, I'm sorry you have to deal with that dude.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Talking about, of course, the great Tommy Thrall, who spent several years here in Pensacola, the voice of the Wahoos, did our work here for Friday Night Rivals, did the terrific work for the Argonauts here. Oh, it's going to be picked off. It's going to be a pick 6. See you later. What a catch that was. That's number 21, or rather 23. Big time play, William Carlisle, and when he caught that, there was no doubt about it. A huge, you know, we were thinking, will someone score in the 4th quarter? Well, forget that. Yep. Carlisle scores before the 3rd quarter ends, or just as it does. That's how the quarter will end. Watch this. Simmons tries to make a little move here, didn't fool him, and see you later.
Yeah, a little bit of an RPO, a run pass option, and maybe he should have just ran that one because, tell you what, Carlisle's had a couple tonight that he dropped.
You're right.
You know, you knew it was a matter of time, and young man comes in clutch at the right time.
Wow. What a turn. So West Florida, after no offense all night, starts threatening with an 83-yarder called back, then another long touchdown called back. Then they actually do get the touchdown, and now the pick six. And you got to be real happy if you're a West Florida faithful. This time they're not going to try that.
They're going to go for two.
Going to go for two. And we've got a
penalty
flag. It's going to be a delay of game. And now it'll be interesting to see how that affects whether or not they go for two or they kick that extra point.
Yeah, they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Wow, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Finally, we get a little more excitement in this game, and who knew that West Florida was going to come out here and score two scores within 20 seconds.
Oh, they've come alive. So the 2-point conversion throws it outside. That's incomplete. So that's not going to get converted. But the big news there for West Florida, the pick six goes a long way, and just like that, they're up 12-6 with 1 quarter to play. Friday Night Rivals. So glad you are with us. Stay with us. Let's see how this thing turns out. We're live, we're back. The bands are jamming, specifically right now, West Florida. They've had a couple of big plays, folks. They didn't score all night, and then they scored and then get the pick six within about a minute of each other. Missed 1 extra point, didn't convert on the 2-point conversion, which is why they have 12, not 14. And Pensacola missed their extra point, which is why they stayed at 6. So our current score 12-6.
Quite the kick.
Yeah, all the way back. And not going to be able to return that. Great kickoff there. So let's take a moment and go down to Clayton Habecker for the Brownsville Welding Sideline Report.
Guys, I'm down here with Sanaya, Rainey, and Madison. Now, Sanaya is the cheer captain here for West Florida, and you guys are doing something special for the month of October. Tell me a little bit about that.
For the entire month of October, we have our pink pom-poms, and then we have our tackle cancer bows, and the football players are wearing pink accessories.
So you told me earlier you're a senior here. How long have you been doing cheerleading?
13 years, in high school for 4 years.
Now, speaking of cheerleading, I hear you guys want to lead us in a cheer, so take it away, guys.
Ready? Hey, hey, let's rally for the Jags. Hey, hey, let's go West Hey!
All right, guys, well, I don't want to hold them anymore. Let them get back to the cheering on the fans.
And they've got a lot to cheer for right now because, again, things have turned quite rightly. If you're a West Florida fan leading this thing 12-6 as we are now in the 4th quarter. Good to see the cheerleaders there, all with smiles. It's so cool. That's been, to me, the most fun part of the Friday Night Rivals is seeing the band, seeing the cheerleaders, seeing everybody in the crowd just having a good time. It's so fun, high school football on the Gulf Coast.
It's the pink accessories that they were talking about.
They mentioned, and there you can see, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October, and it's just been great. Love this atmosphere. Certainly tonight too. Nice breeze out there. 2nd down and 8 now. Simmons gonna get taken down in the backfield. Held it a little bit too long there. Looked like he may have wanted to try and run with it, but nothing doing. And West Florida's coming alive.
Yeah, you see Kyler Purifoy right there. And absolutely, West Florida, they got that momentum back. A little bit of a swagger. They've been kind of just sleepwalking through this game. And you can give credit where credit's due to PHS. But West Florida, we knew that they were a lot better than what they were playing. And if you're PHS right now, you got to find a way to ramp it up yourself and get back some of that momentum you had early in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the tables have most definitely turned. It's become a stop-the-bleeding situation for Pensacola, and they're in a tough position to do so because it is now 3rd and 13 back from their own 17-yard line. Don't want to give it right back to West Florida. And the receiver fell down, so that's not going to be a completed pass. They certainly, I don't think, are going to go for it now. Not this deep in their own territory on 4th and very long. And it is going to be essentially a 3-and-out situation. And real good news for West Florida because they're going to get that ball right back.
And I tell you where, Simmons has had some pressure tonight, but really all those plays right there, he had guys in his face.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's interesting how things have changed here. Momentum-wise, because like you said, the West Florida defense hadn't done much all night. Just then, they look like the 85 Bears.
Wow,
how
about that? Just throwing that in there, but
a high snap.
See if they can get a roll.
But they may get a good bounce. It goes out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. You were saying, good sir?
Yeah, well, after that pick six there, it kind of seems like PHS is just like, well, here we go again. And when you have a season where you're 1-7, of course, their first win coming last week against Arnold, that's kind of what happens. And it's, you should sit there and say, well, they got to play whatever. It's really hard. I mean, 1-7, it's just not fun. I mean, if you've never been on a losing team, no matter what you did growing up, it's no fun no matter how old you are.
Nope.
I mean, you look at grown men, they can't even really handle it correctly. Look at teams that are struggling like the Dolphins in the NFL. I mean, you just see those guys, just those long faces they have. So imagine a high school kid like that. All the stuff you put in and all the time you put in, and you come out and you're 1-7, it's tough no matter who you are.
Antoine Johnson is in for quarterback, as you know, if you've been with us all night. He's played the role nicely. He's going to go long and go for a big play right off the bat. Not able to complete. He was looking for Isaac Walton Jr., but not complete, and we do have an injury here. Who's that?
Looks like Jaheim Simmons is down.
You're right. That's exactly who it is.
And I tell you what, Johnson was also kind of grabbing his knee a little bit, and we hope Jaheim Simmons, you see him grab his knee area, and he is in some pain.
Sure is. So why don't we take a quick break while we hope that Mr. Simmons is okay, and we'll be right back here for Friday Night Rivals. When we left, Jaheim Simmons had his back on the turf, and when he first got up, he was definitely hobbling, didn't want to put any pressure, but toward the sideline there, he did actually start completely walking. So nonetheless, he does seem to be injured, but it was very good, Jeff, to see him actually walk off on his own, which he did at the end there.
Yeah, absolutely. That young man is a trooper, and he is, like we said, the catalyst for this offense.
2nd down and 10 now, and looks like some movement. Could be a false start. At least that's what Pensacola thinks happened.
Isaac Walsh.
Sure enough, false start it is, and that's going to move them back. It was 2nd and 10, but that'll go back right to exactly the 50-yard line. Going to make it 2nd down and 15.
Well, and if you're West Florida here, you need to find a way to score, and you can put this game away. I mean, the PHS hasn't scored in 2 quarters now.
Yeah, remember, they scored, and we got more movement here. PHS scored about midway through the first, so it's been a long, dry sprout. Wait. Long, dry sprout. Okay, I'll stand by that. I got to think that out. Going back and forth here on the penalties. Literally, the officials are the ones moving. Look at Jeff just laughing at me.
It's been such a great year with you.
Oh, yeah? 2nd down and 10. So the penalties negate each other after back-to-back from each side. So back where we started, 2nd and 10.
You can tell when our Red Bulls start to wear off.
By the way, the new pair, Red Bull.
You got to give it a try.
Yeah, it's working.
How about Walton right there? Uh-oh.
Got a flag in the backfield. Could be a late hit on the quarterback. Yeah, looks like that's what the call is. So it's going to be an even bigger game for West Florida.
How about Antoine Johnson? I mean,
he's had a great night.
It started out rough, really rough for him.
Yeah.
And that young man has just kept at it, and he's just gotten better as the game's gone on.
What I'd like to know, and I wish we knew, is when he found out he was going to be playing quarterback tonight.
Yeah,
I'd love to know that.
Absolutely.
Dan Shugart texted us earlier and let us know that Dawson Butala, the regular starting quarterback, big penalty here because he got injured last week too. So it's very possible that Johnson knew all week.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
We would have probably known that.
I mean, you're a running back, and they give you 1 week to prepare.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you're playing.
Yeah.
You still got to come out here and learn the offense in a different way and make these throws. And some of these throws you've seen that he just hasn't been playing quarterback all year. And like I said, though, hats off to the young man. He has played pretty well in the second half.
And the key to success in the second half is he's going to throw it over the middle again and had his man wide open, too. Just threw a little bit high there. That was Isaac Walton he was looking for. It seems like the key here in the second half has been sort of the opposite of what we just saw there. It's been look for our playmakers on screen passes and then just let them do their thing. We've seen that with Simeon Price and the big touchdown from Quantarius Gaines as well.
Yeah, you see, with Butala, he would have a little more touch on a pass like that, you know, and that's one where Johnson, you can't discredit the man. I mean,
it's like, I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Said a former terrific high school quarterback.
Where?
Yeah,
you played quarterback in high school?
No, I did not. Jeff played at Northview. He didn't know that, Northview High School.
I had really good people around me. I say that every time, but I mean it.
So a nice little run here, and that's going to be a
How about that run right there?
Yeah, that's Elijah Edmonds who gets it down. It looks like to right about the 10-yard line. It'll be an Anderson Subaru. I don't know if it'll be a 1st and 10 or a 1st and goal. Let's see here. Going to be dependent upon that spot. Looks like it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11.
Yeah, tough running right there. As you see the Bob Tyler Toyota instant replay from Mr. Edmonds. I'll tell you what, we haven't called his name a whole lot tonight. Of course, when you have Jaheim Simmons, it's tough to get some snaps in that backfield when they have 4 or 5 other guys as well.
And it looks like we've got more movement. This time, I believe we'll deal with an encroachment on PHS. And sure enough, that's the call, so that's going to help them out even more. Moving the ball closer to the end zone as we're in the Synovus red zone right now.
And as you see him in the Synovus red zone, but it kind of just looks like PHS, the wheels are falling off. And you look at it and you're like, it's 12-6. What do you mean the wheels are falling off? Yeah. Listen, this game has taken a turn here.
Big time.
You know, in the latter few minutes. And it's just like PHS has just lost that energy they had early.
Johnson's going to throw a slant there. He's got some real pepper on that ball, man. He does have an arm.
Well, you know, earlier in the game, he didn't have pepper on it, and that's where you can tell it. He has definitely gotten comfortable with throwing that football now as he's slinging it in there. And how about the incomplete pass? You know, I remember a few weeks ago we had this Hoot Rathbun right there.
Was that?
Oh, Hoot.
Okay.
Hoot's back.
Hoot, sweet. Second and 5.
I knew you would love that.
Yeah. So this is in goal, I should say, not in 5. It's an in goal situation. So it's going to be 3rd and goal. Looks like he picked up a couple there. So 3rd and goal from about the 3.
I don't know if it's 3rd and goal. I mean, the sticks are still up. I believe there's got to be like half a yard difference or something. If the sticks are up, it's not 3rd and goal.
But if you look at, take a look though. I think that right stick, he's nowhere near.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
He's nowhere near the sideline. I think he's just kind of happened. See, that's not where he would be standing.
But they're supposed to be down. That looks like about a yard right there.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Can we get our pylon cam?
Yeah.
Do we have that yet?
We do have HD cams on all pylons. Not really.
Oh, there's our pylon cam.
Yeah. There you go.
There's Edmonds down to the 1.
Get in? Yeah.
That's a first down. I hope it's a first down.
We'll see. We will find out. So he's down just shy, literally half a yard it looks like. So if it was in goal, then
oh boy, I was
you were right. You were right. You know, get that camera off of that. Let's we don't have
that's
to prove
great.
me wrong.
You know what though? We're getting excited about something like that. It's just done. It's been such a defensive game tonight.
It has. No, good call. So 1st and goal from the 1. Terrific defensive play there. It's going to take at least one more try for West Florida to complete the deal here. 7:48 to go. So the clock is ticking, and Pensacola, this is very big.
Yeah, this is huge for PHS.
It is.
And I tell you what, if West Florida wants to score, you know what they need to do.
What's that?
Throw it to Hoot.
Hoot it up?
I mean, give the people what they want.
Yeah, that's true.
The people want Hoot.
Hoot.
Maybe the people's just us.
Hoot
Maybe
dat.
it's just us.
Hoot dat. Is that
Now we're getting out of control.
Let's start it. Oh, we've been out of control for
all year.
Quite some time.
And you see Hoot right there at the bottom of your screen, number 12.
All right, let's see. They're going to go the other way, though. Fade route to the end zone.
Oh,
Great defensive
wow.
play. Really fine effort there.
Calvin McCreary playing a little DB right there.
Playing both sides of the field. McCreary's had a big night. Makes a really nice play there.
That's your man Gaines. Trying to get the reception right there. Quintarius Gaines, and boy, that's textbook by McCreary.
Yeah.
Great job.
Nice job. But perhaps a little underthrown from Johnson, but I'm with you. When Gaines is out there, just throw it up and let's see what happens.
Interested to see, PHS has done a good job preventing that rushing attack from West Florida. See if they load it up and force them to throw the football here.
3rd down and goal. There you can see that's Price standing in. So a little wildcat formation here. And Price is going to keep it. No surprise. He's in hot pursuit. He may have gotten in, and I think he did. Touchdown. He's had a huge second half. That's Simeon Price, who finally, Jeff, gets his justice.
Yep.
I don't see a flag on the play. He'll get his touchdown.
So watch number 4 when we get this replay right here. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Elijah Edmonds goodness gracious, you heard the little whoa from the crowd, and you're going to see why. Watch this. Boom!
Yeah, big time.
That's what happens when you got to, do your play fakes, and sometimes.
I'm glad for Price.
Yes,
he had
absolutely.
2 different touchdowns called back. I'm glad that he got that.
He's probably like, man, you know what? That should be my 3rd time.
Mumbling under his breath. So it is now 18-6, and looks like another 2-point conversion effort coming now for West Florida. Johnson is in. The Wildcat formation worked out real well there. You knew when you saw Price back there, he's keeping it. And we've got movement. I think this is going to be a false start, perhaps on. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Check that. Delay of game. So that's the second time in a row on a 2-point conversion. We've seen a delay of game, and it's going to make a longer attempt on the conversion for West Florida. It's exactly what happened a few minutes ago.
And, we haven't seen Simmons since he came out of the
they're
game.
going to change their mind. They're going to say, let's just get the point and go for the extra point. It looks like there's a complete change here.
Well, we haven't seen James Simmons, since, he got injured earlier, so they may be trying to keep him out the rest of the game.
Right.
And you saw Keandre Laster, once again, another running back that West Florida runs back there that was fixing to go in this 2-point conversion, but all for naught now.
Yep. Instead, we're going to see an effort on the point after attempt. We've seen 2 of these tonight, and neither one's made it. Both teams have had a shot at a PAT.
Yeah, the kicker, Jaden Hotman.
Get a conversion. This looks good. And
beautiful.
It is good. Yeah, that's well, but hold on. We have a flag on the play.
I think that's going to be roughing the kicker right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, looks
they will
like you're
assess
right.
that on the kickoff.
Good call. So that will not affect the point after. In fact, that's going to make it 19-6 with 7 minutes to go. Let's get a confirmation on this call, but I do agree. I think I saw the official make the kicking motion. They're going to discuss to confirm. And
I think they're discussing if it's running into the kicker, if it's roughing, and that's 5 or 15 yards.
yeah.
That's the
Either way,
difference.
it'll be assessed on the kickoff here. Coming up. Let's see.
We're so eagerly awaiting the call.
I do want to say, here we go. He's been terrific. We watched him during the coin toss, and he was great. The way he explained to I don't know if you paid attention to that before the game when he was doing the coin toss. There you can see the call. He was awesome, just the way he handled it. Told him, we're going to play it straight, we're going to play it safe, we're going to play it fair, and I just thought he really handled himself very nicely. Been a good crew tonight. The officials have not played much of a role, which is a very good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, other than your typical couple holding penalties and your false starts and delay of games.
Right.
No, I mean.
But no big plays, and we haven't had a lot of those moments where we're like, I'm not sure exactly what the heck just happened. It's been very good. There you can see.
Well, I just want to say, Coach, you see Coach Leonard there, and Sophie's Tiger. It was his good luck charm after they beat Arnold last week. Coach, don't give up on Sophie's Tiger.
No, wear it next week.
Wear it with pride.
If you did not hear the story, his daughter, there you go, there's Sophie's Tiger. His daughter and his wife talked him into wearing that last week. They got their first win, and they said, don't take it off. And he said, all right, good call. Well, they're in pretty good shape right now, up 19-6, and looking very much like they're going to kick an onside kick here. Coach Leonard going for it. Oh, and nearly able to track that thing down. But, of course, that's going to be a penalty. Man, a little bit of a gamble there as Coach just trying to really make sure this thing gets sealed away. Why not with a big lead? And Pensacola's offense not doing all that much here in the second half, or the first, I should say. But the gamble doesn't pay off, so the Tigers will take over right there. Jeff, for Pensacola, they haven't scored in a good long while. They're not doing much offensively. But there's also 7 minutes left, and they don't say, let's call this thing. So what do they need to do? How do they move the ball down the field?
PHS is going to have to go deep. I mean, they're just going to have to test it. And like we talk about, you've got the receivers to really go after it, but can they give Simmons time? That defensive front now for West Florida has kind of ramped it up, and Simmons has had guys in his face the past couple drives. So really, if they can give him just enough time, they've got the playmakers to do it. But it's just a matter of, can they? I mean, it's as simple as that. PHS has looked really good tonight, and now it's like after that pick six, everything has changed. They're a completely different team.
Pick six was the final play of the third quarter, and the game was tied up until that moment. And right before that, Quantaris Gaines had a terrific 28-yard touchdown, and that's what what tied it up, and then, of course, the pick six, and it's been really all West Florida since then. Simmons is going to go deep. He's got his man wide open, too. This is going to be a huge gain. Falls down, but a very big play, and, boy, you called it. That number 5, Calvin McCreary. He's been so big all night long. And
yeah, offensively, defensively, yeah, man, he is just...
And that's huge. That's, you know, if he doesn't fall down, who knows what happens there. The Bob Tyler Toyota replay will show us this. Nice, Simmons gets hit, but boy, McCreary was just completely alone. The 30-yard gain gives us an Anderson Subaru 1st and 10, putting Pensacola down at the 30-yard line. And now with 6:45 to go, as we've said just before that, this thing's not over. And that's the biggest play they've had from scrimmage in a while. And Simmons is going to go deep again. This time he throws it a little bit high. Oh, nearly. Man. The acrobat catch almost comes to fruition.
I tell you what, Katie Whitehurst right there, and he is, man, he's going to beat himself up. Tough catch, but I tell you what, a tough throw as well.
Yeah.
And great job by Simmons. He just somehow fit that ball in there. I mean,
well, I'll tell you what else, Jeff. Kudos to you, because precisely what you said they need to do is what they're doing. They're throwing it down the field, and the first one obviously pays off in a 30-yard gain. That nearly another big gain.
Watch Powell to the bottom of your screen here as he goes near the hash mark. Maybe a fade route for him.
Okay. And Simmons, it looked like that's where he's looking. He gets hit, doesn't go down. We do have a flag on the play. He's going to throw it deep. He's got his man, and that is going to be a touchdown. There's a flag on the play. Let's see. It's
in the area of holding.
So it's down at the 1 if it stands, but all the way back at the 35-yard line. And sure enough, it looks like we're going to get a hold. So there's your hold call. It's coming back. We've seen it all night. Would have been 1st and goal from the 1. Terrific play there. Simmons gets hit.
I tell you, and regardless, no matter what hold it was unnecessary because Simmons was rolling out of the pocket.
So
there was nobody near him.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Boy, you talk about a ball game if he finds a way to put that in the end zone.
That really hurts. It was literally 1st and goal from about the half-yard line. But instead, of course, it goes the other way. That was the imaginary yards you mentioned earlier. And that's the 8th flag this half, it looks like, against Pensacola.
But you look, if you're PHS, the opportunities are there. You're able to throw it downfield and make these completions here. You just got to find a way to get away from those penalties.
That's a great point. They're going to keep trying to throw. This time Simmons just lobs it right over. Ooh, helmet's coming off there. Whew. That's Quan Whitehurst who makes the catch. Might have picked up a yard or two, a little lob pass.
Yeah, it looked like Deshaun Terrell there, senior, 5'11", coming up with a big hit. Way to hold on as well. Sometimes you see guys kind of lower their head, lower their shoulder to get the blow, and the guy bounces off of them because they don't wrap up, but he did a great job wrapping up right there.
With just under 6 minutes to go, it's definitely 2-down territory, but let me tell you, folks, it's 3rd and about 23. So right now they got to be thinking, let's just see if we can get half of this, because they're going for it. They're going to have to. Simmons is going to get hit from behind, it looks like.
Oh,
he's
boy.
in some real trouble, and he's going to go down at the 47-yard line of Pensacola. So that's going to be a loss of about 8 more. It'll bring up 4th and about 30.
And you can give that as a coverage sack for that West Florida secondary, but also Simmons, he's just got to get rid of the football. I mean, you cannot allow yourself to back up anymore right there.
Well, they've spotted this at the 46 of the other side of the field there. Was he in the grasp or something? Why is it not? I wonder where he actually went.
I think
down.
it was because the forward progression had stopped right there.
Interesting. Okay, well, I thought maybe since he was trying to make a play, they weren't going to count forward progress, but I guess they were. So it's still 4th and extremely long, and by that I'm talking 4th and about 23 or maybe 25. But they're going for it, so they've got trips at the top. They've got receiver down bottom, and this quick snap is not going to count.
PHS called a timeout.
PHS wants to discuss it, so
rightfully so.
Yeah, that's a lot to discuss. It's 4th and very long. We will take a commercial break. When we come back, Pensacola may be facing the ball game here because they're down big at 19-6. It's 4th and about 25. Stay with us. We are back. We are live. It's Friday Night Rivals from Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram right here on WFGX. 4th and 27, it looks like. Nate Simmons will roll out. He's going to have to get rid of it. He does. Oh my goodness, folks. He nearly had his man, who was able to get behind the defender and pass the first down marker. Couldn't bring it in, though, so it is going to be a turnover and downs. But I'll tell you, Jeff, they almost convert this thing.
Yeah, the intended receiver was Tywan Thomas, but Quantarius Gaines, watch him right here, jumps too early, and boy, it was almost, ooh, that could have been bad for them.
But it is not. It is more good news for West Florida Tech. And, you know, it's really been a tale of two halves because, I mean, it's not like Pensacola was super dominant in the first half. It was only 6-0, but it was very much their game. It was feeling like things were really going their way. Second half, that all changed, and it's really been all West Florida here in the second half, which is significant because, remember, they're playing without their starting quarterback. They've got Antoine Johnson as backup, and he's just done fabulous work.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it early in the game. He struggled, but he's gotten stronger as the game's gone on, and he's really gained some confidence. And hey, hats off to that young man tonight.
Hands it off to Quantarius Gaines here, who refuses to go down, picks up about 6 or 7 yards, and I think West Florida at this point is going to do their best to let that clock roll, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep putting the ball on the ground right here. Go ahead and let that clock run out, and let's get ready for next week. Hey, you know, we talked about it. It might change. Who knows? But on the schedule right now, we are going to be here against, it'll be West Florida versus Tate.
That's right. Could be right back here. Hey, why don't you got any scores you can queue up while we kind of start to wind things down here? It's going to be 2nd down and 4. Going to run this thing right back up the middle. That's Bryce sticking with it, and boy, what an effort that was. He just refused to go down. He's been so good. Check that. That was Elijah Edmonds, not Price. But it's an Anderson Subaru 1st and 10, which is pretty noteworthy because they had him back at the line of scrimmage, and he just kept those feet moving. And the clock will keep on moving, too, now coming up on 4 minutes left in the game.
How about this? I mean, with Navarre, the up-and-down season they had, of course, we had Crestview beating Lincoln. Huge win for them, putting them back in the playoff hunt. Well, Navarre 52, Crestview 14.
Wow.
Baker and Port St. Joe right now tied at 27. Man, nobody's come close
game
to Baker except Northview this year.
How much time's left in that one?
Do not have that.
Okay. Big run here. Woo! Another big play, and of course that was Elijah Edmonds again. Do have a flag, it looks like, so I think it could be a face mask. We'll see. If so, it's good news for West Florida on what was already very good news.
We have Niceville 48-0 over Leon, and that's a final. We have Escambia 50-7 over Washington as a final.
What about Catholic?
I do not have the updated score on them. No. Not getting that one. Last time I saw it was 21-6.
21-6, yeah. Let's see what the penalty is here. There's that's probably going to be the call. It definitely looks like a face mask.
We had Pine Forest 44-0 over Panama City Arnold. How about this big win? We talked about it earlier. Flomaton 20, TR Miller nothing, and that's at TR Miller, and it's tough to win there. But huge win for the Hurricanes tonight, especially getting ready. Got one more game, and they're getting ready for playoffs.
Exciting time of year.
And how about it was going to be our game tonight, the Pace Milton game. Pace 6, Milton 3, a late touchdown pass as it was 3-0, and Pace just always seems to find a way to win that game they're not supposed to at home.
There's the official call of the personal foul, the face mask. So it was a big gain, turns into an even bigger gain. And yeah, that was an exciting game. We were supposed to be there tonight, but because of the shifting schedules the last couple of weeks due to the tropical threat last week and then the big rain threat again tonight and tomorrow, they moved the game up and they decided to play it last night, which of course negated our chance to broadcast it. Luckily, we were able to get over here and get this game on the air for you guys. I'm glad to do it, but that ended up being a really good game.
But when we found out we weren't doing that game, me and you both, we were just like, dang, man, because you knew that was going to be a good game.
Yeah. Going to be some fun, but looks like there's your official making the call again. Not sure why, but it's the exact same call. He's just letting everybody know.
Just letting you know.
Well, I thought he did that.
Just making sure.
So it's an Anderson Subaru 1st and 10, 3.5 minutes to go here on a breezy night. Our notes are literally flying around.
I was about to say, as my notes fly into your face.
Bit of a breeze. Clock rolling. So is West Florida. They're going to get out of here with a win. Didn't seem like that for a while there. There's Edmonds again, who basically, now this will be a forward progress situation. Going to pretty much get stopped at the line of scrimmage. Looks like West Florida's going to get their second win. We've been thinking about who the players of the game might be, who the player of the game might be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
As I'm asking? Oh, really?
That's what I'm
curious.
doing.
I have a notion, but I will not try to influence you. Second down and 12. Interesting. You're giving me a few options.
Getting some opinions here.
I'll tell you.
We're on the same page.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I agree with you on that one right there.
You know, at some point we'll tell the audience.
We will at some point.
Not
But that's
yet.
our big secret right now.
That's
Everybody just can't wait.
post-game situation. As you can see, we have a timeout on the field here, as this has kind of turned into garbage time. Just trying to clean things up and wrap it up, but we're not quite there. Teams are heading back now. West Florida will get their second win, and you know, the future looking good. I'd say, you know, for both teams, you know, Pensacola with Nate Simmons, we've said is a pretty good looking young quarterback, and may be significant here for a couple of seasons, which would be great. Nice to have a future there. It looks like he wants to, look at this. Johnson wants to go to the end zone, and he's got his man. Did he catch it? No, he didn't. Man.
That was intended receiver.
JT Winton, I believe. Or was it Caden Morehouse?
I believe it was Caden Morehouse. And a good throw.
Yeah, sure was.
And how about Ladarius Powell? 6'3" right there going up against him, doing a really good job, even better job.
Listen, Powell has had a big night defensively. We've called his number several times on plays like that. So.
You don't see too many corners that are 6'3", not even in the NFL.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's been great. It was a nice play there. It got in the way there. So it's going to be third down. You know, West Florida wants to convert. They just want this game to end. They want that clock to roll. So they're looking to do anything they can. It's a low snap that hits the ground. It's a good effort from Johnson to get it up, get his hands on it, and actually make the handoff there. He gets it to Isaac Walton, but he's tackled in the backfield, so it's going to bring 4th and long, and probably, I was going to say a punt, but I've yet to see anything to indicate that we're looking at a punt here.
Yeah, PHS looks like they'll call their final timeout here, rightfully so.
So it's 4th and about 17, and West Florida is going to take a moment to talk about it based on that timeout that you just said.
I don't know if you punt here just for the fact of maybe a block and a scoop and score there. I mean, maybe you just run the football and
the thinking, because Pensacola's offense hadn't done that much, it's worth the risk of giving up the yardage on the field position.
And you're kind of a no man's land as well. So you know what kind of really good field position, and like you said, you know, PHS offense there has been none in the second half, and credit that to West Florida's defense. But I just think you play it safe here. Maybe run the football, or if you want to pass, that's fine. But
well, it is. I mean, if they run the football, they're essentially just turning it over. I mean,
right.
Unless they happen to get a big breaker. It's 4th and 15. So if they actually have an interest in trying to convert, they're likely going to put the ball in the air. But that may, like I said, that may not be what they're thinking.
Well, if you do that, then they've got to score twice in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And you know. So
and if you give that up,
yeah, you deserve to lose.
Let's see what they do here. They are obviously they're going for it. Let's see what they decide.
Oh wow!
they get some movement.
They get some of those yards back.
Yeah, sure did. It looked like that was going to be all Pensacola who encroached. That is the call. So they do get some. It'll still be 4th and long, but every little bit helps, right?
Absolutely.
So it looks like maybe 4th and about 12 now.
Well, all they got to do is get them to jump 3 more times, and then they can run the clock out.
This thing writes itself. It's so simple.
See Coach Rhett Summerford right there.
I'm always curious on something like that, if that changes whatever they were about to call. Like, is the play call different now? We'll see. Not that we'll know. Johnson throws another slant into triple coverage there, but he still nonetheless had a shot to complete that. Doesn't happen, so they will in fact turn it over, and with 2:06 to go, Pensacola going to get the ball, but they're down a couple of scores, and they're a long way from the end zone. So I think your point is very valid, that it was worth the risk.
Yeah, that was Hoot.
Was that Hoot?
Yeah, they tried to throw it to Hoot once again.
Boy, I appreciate the fact they're trying as hard as, we love calling Hoot's name. It's easily the most fun name we've had this season.
And we were hoping to have Gumbo, and hey, when you got the combo of Gumbo and Hoot, that sounds like some kind of show back from the 70s.
Hoot and Gumbo. I saw them live in Biloxi. They're a great show. It's vaudeville stuff. So it's 1st and 10. It's Pensacola's ball. Long way away. Hoot and Gumbo. Simmons loves to roll out to the right, throws it a little high. Receiver fell down, so that'll just be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and we've really credit to that West Florida front. They've ramped up the pressure now, and that defensive coordinator was tired of seeing Simmons sit back there and I say pick him apart. He had a lot of completions today that, you kind of credit him, and like we talked about, one of the statistical best quarterbacks in the area, and you kind of saw that. I mean, he's a good player.
He is.
Only a sophomore, so he's going to continue to grow. Coach Leonard's doing a good job with him, but I think West Florida was tired of just letting them sit back there, and you see that West Florida can still play a little defense, and they've done a really good job tonight, only allowing 6 points.
Yeah, especially in the second half. Defensive pressure there, though, and Simmons has a nice little pass, but it's still actually going to go down as a loss as barely gets back. I don't think even to the line of scrimmage, so another big 3rd and about 11 after a loss of maybe a yard.
Yeah, Dontarius Cunningham right there, number 31 on the reception. And
there's a flag on the play, by the way.
Of course there is.
We'll see what that is. Officially, it went down as about a loss of a yard. That flag is still sitting there.
They're waving it off.
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
No penalty on the play, so again, it was just a loss of a yard. 3rd and long for Pensacola now with 1:49 to go. It's interesting. This game slowed way down. First half, really, the whole first half just flew.
Yeah, a lot of running in the football.
Yeah, second half in the air, and it's made a pretty significant difference. Third and long. Simmons going to come back the other way here, and he completes the
good
pass.
Catch.
Yeah, it's a very nice pass.
Calvin
very
McCreary.
Good catch. That's McCreary, and that was going to be roughing the passer. Actually, it looks like so. So it looks like a lot of yards going to get added on to that play.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Exactly. Simmons really loves to roll out one way or the other versus just standing in the pocket.
Yeah, I think he's way more comfortable doing that, and we saw that against when they were playing Washington. He didn't like sitting back there, and I can't blame him with that defensive front they have. When he rolls out, that way he has the option. We talk about an RPO, a run pass option. That's kind of the way football is now. It's really, you don't see a lot of quarterbacks just drop back and throw the football. And Simmons is one of those RPO quarterbacks that, I tell you what, it's not going to surprise me if we see him when he graduates go and play on Saturday somewhere. He's just such a special talent.
Cool. All right, so that's a big penalty. It does put the ball now on the other side of the field, down at the 41-yard line with 1:23 to play and no timeouts. Pensacola has to score quick and then hope for an onside kick. Get out of bounds here. That's a completed pass, nice catch. LD Powell who hauls it in there. Pick up, I don't think of quite enough to call it a first down, but down at the 35-yard line, going to be second down at about 4.
And if you're the Jags here on defense, you're just going to keep everything in front of you, and you'll let them have that pass all night long. Keep in mind they still have to score 2 more touchdowns.
Yeah, and we know that Simmons from here can haul it down to the end zone. Perhaps on a winning night like this, maybe not. But we saw him a couple of minutes ago when they needed to move it. He was throwing it down with no problem whatsoever. He's going to do it right here. Goes up high. Could get picked. It does get picked. And a lot of room out in front of him here. That's number 23 who still on his feet, but he did go out of bounds. So that is not going to be a pick 6. Had a moment there. It looked like it might be. It's William Carlisle who made the catch. There is a flag on the play, but it's well after the interception, which I think will stand. It will probably officially wrap things up.
Yeah, Carlisle had the big pick 6 earlier, and you
did.
see him right there, Johnny, on the spot again, and that'll do it for you, folks. Hey, man, if he didn't take that one step right there, man, oh man.
Big play there. His pick 6 earlier was really a momentum changer because it was 6-6 at the time. And remember, that's not that long ago. That was the final play of the third quarter, that pick 6. So, but at that moment, and ever since then, it has been all West Florida. So really, Jeff, you mentioned it earlier. It was 6-6 at the time. That was the moment where things really changed.
Yeah, and all the energy from PHS, it was just like we talked about. They almost went, well, here we go again. You know, after staying in the game so long against a good team like this, that just took the wind out of their sails, and they have not been the same team that we had in the first half.
No, they sure haven't. So it was a hold here. I can hear the crowd is yelling because they're saying it happened after the interception. And we'll see. They are going to allow the interception. So it will be West Florida ball, but because of the penalty, they're going to have it at about the 38-yard line. And with 1:06 to go and Pensacola has no timeouts, I think we're going to see the vaunted victory formation.
Yeah, that's what you should see here.
Yeah, just about time to wrap her up.
West Florida hasn't got to do this very often, so this is a big moment for them.
That's good.
Well, you just talk about just such a tough season they had. And we say it again, they had the second toughest schedule in the state this year, and this is still a really good team. You know, what can you say for these guys? They've got some special talents out there, and I tell you what, they've got a lot of juniors coming back as well, so it should be fun to see what they got next year.
So they don't officially go into victory formation. Instead, it's a big gainer for Elijah Edmonds, and he stays in bounds, which of course was object number 1, I believe. Excuse me. Moves it to the other side of the field. The clock has stopped for the moment, but I think it's going to get going here in just a second once they get everything all set up. You can see on the distance there the chains moving down the field.
Yeah, you hear the West Florida fans now chanting the "I believe we will win." A little late, but yeah, there you go.
Well, listen,
I believe now.
And I would agree with him. Seems very likely with less than a minute to go. At the 43-yard line.
There's one more play, it's over.
There it is.
This time it is going to be down, and that will do it. That should be the final play from scrimmage. So turns into a good night for West Florida. They did not look very good in the first half. They were playing with a backup quarterback, but he came alive. The offense came alive. The defense had some big plays. And as you can see the clock ticking down, the crowd starting to rally up as the players will head out for the shaking of the hands, the trophy presentation coming soon. Jeff, ended up being an exciting game, and I'll tell you, a good night for West Florida. They got to feel real good about this.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Summerford's not happy with the way they came out in the first half, and that's probably what he's going to harp on is, hey, look, we can't keep doing this, you know, and you talk about the tough season they've had, and rightfully so, but like I said, both these teams have a lot of good players. This is both of them are younger squads. Of course, PHS a little younger than everybody else. But for West Florida, I tell you, we most likely will have them next week. This is a team that's just going to get better. I mean, it's going to take a little time, and when they come back next year, I think it's going to be like the old West Florida Tech we're used to seeing. And for PHS and Coach Leonard, I'm excited to see these guys, you know, next year. We talk about Washington being 0-10 and coming back and having the year they are. It wouldn't surprise me to see a PHS team come back and have a season like that, you know.
Well, we'll see. You know, it's going to be a few months before we find out, but I wouldn't be surprised either. So we will take a break, but remember when we come back, the trophy presentation for the hometown team here for West Florida is their crowd is going to be pumped, and of course, we're also going to find out who the player of the game is. Stay with us. We are live. We are back. As you see on your screen there, West Florida Tech. The Jaguars beating the Tigers 19-6. It's been a tough year for the Jaguars, but they do move to 2-7, and very good news tonight. They're going to get themselves a trophy. Hey, Clayton.
I'm down here with Coach Summerford. We got a very excited football team here. So, as you can hear. So, you guys came out on fire in the second half, 19 unanswered points. Tell me what you learned about your team tonight.
Hey, we played to the end of the game. Hey, big pick right there got us going. Offense found its way. Really proud of our football team. Never gave up. That's the way West Florida plays.
All right, guys. Well, you absolutely deserve it. Congratulations. I will hand this to you.
Absolutely. Congratulations. That's great to see, and you know they're pumped, and they very well should be. So Coach Summerford mentions we got a big pick, and he's right. You and I have said it, that the pick six, it was the last play of the third quarter, was maybe the play of the game. Certainly momentum-wise, it felt like it was. With that in mind, Jeff, why don't you tell us who our player of the game is?
That young man right there, number 23, William Carlisle III. And we talk about it, the big pick, the pick six that changed the momentum of the game, and it really jump-started this Jag team, and you're going to see it right there. You're not going to catch that young man.
And remember, this was a big moment because West Florida, right before that, had scored their first touchdown of the night. They missed the extra point, so it was 6-6. And then he has another pick here, right there, which, of course, was sort of the deal breaker, the final sealing of the whole thing at the end of the game. So Carlisle with a big night and is the player of the game. That was awesome. Well, it's been a fun night, and certainly we're glad you enjoyed it with us. As we have said, it's very possible that we're going to be sitting here next week. Hate to be so non-committal, but if you've been paying attention the last couple of weeks of high school football, there's been some jumbling going on. But we will very likely be sitting here again next week as we will watch the Tate Aggies come on over to take on West Florida, and we'll see if West Florida can get win number 3 or see what Tate can do about that. So hopefully you enjoyed tonight's game, but don't forget, this is just one of many games tonight on the Gulf Coast. And if you're anything like the two of us, you want to go see the action, and you're going to get a great chance to do that tonight right after Channel 3 News at 10 with Prep Football Final with Dan Shugart and Steve Nissom. They work so hard, as does that entire crew. They're going to give you highlights and implications from up and down the Gulf Coast. That is always a great watch. You can catch it tonight right after, no doubt, you watch Channel 3 News at 10. Find out what Alan Strum has to say about all that potential rain tomorrow. With that in mind, we're going to call it a night, and we're going to say thank you so much for Jeff Price, for Clayton Habecker, for this entire Friday Night Rivals team. My name is Christian Garman, and certainly we're glad you are with us, and we hope you'll do it one more time next Friday night as we wrap up the season here on Friday Night Rivals.